Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
So proud of the guys. Just kept clawing, kept fighting back, and I'm beyond proud of them.
He sends a high fly ball to deep right center field. No one's going to catch that. It is going way back, and that is out of here for a home run. Luke Cossey, a monster shot, clears the 405 sign. Our first home run at Duncan Field since 2023. Touch 'em all, Luke Cossey.
Our fans recognize that, and they know that it's a family atmosphere at our place, and that's what we like.
One run will score. Here comes a second run home. Johnston digging for third. He slides in, and the Sodbusters have a 3-0 lead as Weston Johnston scorches one over the head of Jake Daly.
All the credit to the guys in the dugout playing really, really hard, keeping it simple, throwing strikes on the mound, going right at kids, and then just keep it simple up at the plate. And all the credit to the guys for just busting their butts night in, night out.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
It is a new season for the Hastings Sodbusters, and what I mean by that is it is the second half of the Independence League, as the Hastings Sodbusters ending a disappointing first half with 5 straight losses to end the season, as they had such a great start to the season, winning 9 of their first 9 games, a perfect 9-0 start to the 2025 season, but did not go the way that they had hoped towards the end. Lots of games in a short amount of days got to the Hastings Sodbusters. Arms got tired, bodies got tired, and just ran out of gas towards the end of the first half of the season. So the Hastings Sodbusters finishing in 3rd place in the first half Independence League standings. So they will try and punch their ticket to the Independence League playoffs in the first time that the Sodbusters have made the postseason since 2018, as we start the dawn of the second half of the playoffs. Welcome in on this Monday evening to historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Ryan Valenta, myself, and Steve Stein bringing you the first and only game of this short series here tonight between the Sodbusters and the Fremont MOO. Sodbusters, unlike most teams, playing their first game of the second half of the season tonight. And most teams, including Fremont, have played a game either yesterday or Saturday. Friday was the end of the first half of the Independence League. Sodbusters have had since last Thursday off. Last time we saw them here at home, they were unfortunately swept in a 7-inning doubleheader against the Plainsmen, and then it became pretty much a win, sweep the Casper Spuds to any chance to get into the playoffs, but that did not happen. The Independence League defending champions, the Casper Spuds, swept the Hastings Sodbusters in Casper last Tuesday through Thursday. So Hastings ends the first half with a 16-12 record. The Spearfish Sasquatch punched their ticket to the postseason by becoming the first half Independence League champs. Casper finished second, so you look at the schedules for each teams, you think, well, who is it going to be? The Sodbusters have a little bit more of a favorable schedule in the second half. We'll tell you more about that as our pregame show progresses. But when we come back, we'll have our coach's interview with head coach Josh Printer. Steve Stein catches up with him and gets his thoughts on the tough way to end the first half of the season and his mindset and outlook for the second half of the season. That interview plus the starting lineups are on the way. Hastings Sodbusters taking on the Fremont MOO on this final day of June in 2025, and then a busy month of July set to ensue for the Sodbusters. Be back with our latest coach's interview after the break.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
We feature Sodbuster Baseball in advance of a matchup with Fremont. Going to get the perspective of Josh Printer prior to the contest. Has had an opportunity to go to that 3-game series up at Casper. Kind of take us through the games. Talk a bit about your team's efforts at Casper.
We gave ourselves 2 really good chances. Ended up losing 2 really close, tough games, and then the last day just kind of didn't play great baseball. But props to our guys going out there, playing all those games in a row, and still bringing the attitude and effort to give ourselves a chance to win. So. And the way your schedule works out, you get the little break between the official first half and the second half. Is that good for this team? Yes, I think the 3-day break was exactly what we needed. Rest some bodies. Yeah, I mean, couple guys got to go home that were close enough to go home and see their family for the weekend and just rest. I made sure we talked about just making sure we're not doing nothing stupid. Make sure we're actually taking 3 days of rest or 3 days off, as in exactly what they are and what they're supposed to be, and just make sure we rest our bodies and understand that we still got a whole second half, and it's still up to us. We didn't come out where we didn't finish where we wanted to in the first half, but it's still the whole season's still up to us and in our hands. So, and from a mental standpoint, I mean, baseball is a very humbling sport. When it's going well, it feels like you can never lose. When it's not going well, it feels like you're never going to win again. As a young coach, talk about navigating that, not being too high or too low. Talk about the way you approach it with the guys to try to get it back on the right track. I think not playing down or up to competition, just taking everyone and taking every game the same way, and I think if you take every game like it's Game 7 in the World Series. I know we don't have a World Series here, but if you take every game like Game 7 in the World Series, that every game you're not sped up when you are on the line, when the game's on the line, and you just take every AB and you just have every AB, every play in the field meaningful, that when it does become meaningful, that I mean you're just ready for it, and it's just another ground ball is short, or it's another AB, another line drive up the middle, and just take it. If you take every game, every situation just as important, that it always stays the same. It's always consistent. And there is a different mentality to summer ball. College, maybe you play a weekend series, then you play a Wednesday game. When you were playing every day, more like minor league baseball, there is a little bit different focus, I would guess, it would take when you're playing every day. Yeah, I mean, it's taxing on the bodies. Usually for spring college baseball, you play your Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday or so. But you probably play at the most 4 games in a week, and here we ended up playing, 20 or so, or 17, whatever it was in a row. We ended up getting that doubleheader with the Plainsmen, but ended up getting a day off after that. But played a lot of games in a row, and it's taxing on the body, and just got to keep reminding them, especially the pitchers, to make sure we ice and make sure we take care of our bodies. I mean, you might not feel it right now or the day of after you pitch, but in the long run, you got to make sure we take care of our bodies and make sure we hydrate. It's gonna be a long, hot summer the rest of the way out, and just take care of our bodies. I know there's been some roster adjustments. Do you feel pretty good about the guys you have moving forward, particularly on the pitcher side with those 3 days off? Yeah, I think the pitching side's really good for them to rest their arms, give them a couple extra days of rest, but. Position side of everything, we're really good. We're looking good. First base I would say the only thing that we're kind of hurting right now with Jarv being gone. Miss Jarv, love coaching him, love playing with him. Great guy. But we also had Cooper Harrell play over there a couple games for us, and he's also gone. So he'll be coming back. He's just gone. He had a family vacation he had to go to, but he'll be back in a week or so. And then we got Kel Jensen coming up on the 2nd, so that'll help. But all the confidence in the world that whoever I throw over there the next couple of games that we'll be comfortable with. And we got Zane over there today. We have Kazi that can play a little bit. He played all throughout high school over there at first, and that's the only thing that is kind of on our radar. But I have all the confidence in the world that they'll figure it out and get the job done. Jacob Printer, head coach for the Hastings Sodbusters, in advance of the matchup with Fremont. I'm Steve Stein.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Welcome back to Duncan Field, home of the Hastings Sodbusters and Hastings Area Legion baseball teams. And before we get too much into today's game, a reminder, speaking of the Legion baseball teams, we're going to have our next broadcast on Wednesday where the Hastings Sodbusters will have an unofficial exhibition game against the Cornhusker League All-Stars. So those are some teams from around Hastings, Grand Island, and some other kids from some Cornhusker League games on the roster for that team. So it'll be a nice friendly exhibition match on Wednesday, which we'll broadcast here. It won't count as an official game, but it'll be a whole lot of fun. If you joined us last year, remember the Cornhusker League All-Stars had a late comeback against the Hastings Sodbusters and actually beat them in a full contest. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. And the Hastings Sodbusters later this week, they will have Fremont back here on Friday. Just a single game for them. Sodbusters don't play more than a 3-game series against Fremont all season this year, just 2 games in 1 game stretch here and there. And then the Plainsmen will come to town Saturday through Monday, July 5th through the 7th. But looking at today's game, the Fremont MOO, they had an interesting end to their first half of the season. They come into tonight's contest with an 11-14 record. Well, they started off the season with a 3-3 record. Then they lost 8 straight games in a row. Then, right after that, they won 7 straight games in a row. And they lost their final 2 to end the first half, and then since then they've already played a couple games in the second half against Casper. They are 1-1 in those games. So they went 1-2 in that Casper series, so they have not had a day off in a couple of days. So the Fremont MOO just making the trip in from Casper, talked to the opposing broadcast group and said, yep, they got some sleep, but they still a little bit winded from coming all the way from Wyoming. But they are set to play 1 single game against the Hastings Sodbusters tonight. It'll be the 3rd game of the season between these two teams. First time since June 2nd and 3rd. Sodbusters won that June 2nd game right here at Duncan Field. That was the crazy walk-off in the 9th inning. The Sodbusters were down by 2 runs and got the final 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th to post the 7-6 win. And the next day in Fremont, Sodbusters also got the win, 5-2, to keep their undefeated streak to the start of the season going. But man, oh man, just disappointing end to the first half. You thought that the Sodbusters had a clear shot to claim the first half Independence League title after starting the season 9-0, but they end the first half with a 16-12 record. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein ahead of first pitch here tonight between the Sodbusters and the MOO. Steve, a good rivalry always between the Sodbusters and MOO, teams that know each other well. Some of these guys, they go to school with each other in the spring or play baseball together. But some new faces for each team and some guys that have departed from the team, but always scheduled to be a good contest. But loved your interview with Coach Printer, kind of keeping it into perspective. Yeah, it was a disappointing end to the season, but you want to flush that, keep it going, and make it so. I believe that he said that, so want to be out on the field where every inning matters, and I think that's going to be the key to hopefully get the second half started tonight and keep that momentum going to try and claim a second half title.
And the great thing is, indeed, it is a new season for the Hastings Sodbusters. You know, if you were in the middle of a spring, if you are in a funk, you're not going to be able to get out of the funk. If you're 12 games below 500, you have to work your way from 12 games below 500. Now you literally start 0-0. I think the 3 days off, we'll see how it goes, but I would think it would just been an amazing experience for these guys just to get a little time away, to get rest, hope to get their minds right. You lose the leader, Ryan Jarvis. Some other guys going to step up. Hopefully get a little healthy, too. Some guys were not healthy at the end of the first half. And so I get 3 days off is great. And if you are the Sodbusters, come out and try to get on Fremont right away because they are a team that have kind of where Hastings was when you're playing so many games in a row. You'd love to find a way just to jump on them. They just got beat yesterday in run rule fashion, 12-2, although they did earn a win at Casper on Saturday with an 11-run ninth inning. It wasn't even a run rule win when they won 19-5 on Saturday, so they did split their game Saturday and Sunday to open the second half. But you're hoping they're a little leg weary, hoping their pitchers may be a little tired, and you can come out and start this second half on the right note.
Sodbusters will, like Steve mentioned, go with a couple of different players because Ryan Jarvis, we say farewell to him. And from one Ryan to another, good luck, Jarvis, on your professional opportunity. He's starting an internship in his professional career path of physical therapy, requiring him to miss the second half of the season. But we said, who knows, maybe if the Sodbusters clinch the second half playoffs, he could see a Ryan Jarvis return. But he is one of the guys, and we mentioned Cooper Harrell. He's away for a family vacation right now and will be back as well. Jaden Shabry, one of the guys who just suffering from an injury, wasn't able to get healthy and will likely be done for the rest of the season. So the Sodbusters are set to get some replacements here in the next few days. We'll have more on those when we have those available. But just know that, like we said, hopefully the Sodbusters enjoyed their few days off, able to just rest up, get healthy, and play some new baseball, and hopefully flush a disappointing first half to make sure that they are ready to go for the second half of baseball. Coaches meeting at home plate right now. Josh Printer does the coaching for the Hastings Sodbusters, and now with just the short staff amount of guys on the team, Josh actually had to play in one of the Casper games as well, just because the middle infielders, either some of them not able to make the trip or just so beat up that they couldn't play at all. So Printer did have to get some playing time in Casper, but hopefully he can let his guys do the playing the rest of the way. The Fremont MOO, coached by Connor McGonigal, his second season as coach. He was kind of co-head coach last year, but he takes it over by himself in a full coaching capacity this year. Jason Clark and Tyler Dunham are his assistants. Now let's introduce today's starting lineups for tonight's game. We'll go with our visitors first for the Fremont MOO. Out from Fremont in the eastern part of the state. Their starting lineup from top to bottom, as you can also see on your screen as well. Preston Gajewski will lead things off and play shortstop. Caden Brzezinski to bat second and play first base. The ever-so-dangerous Cooper Fucino. Tell you more about him in a minute. He bats third and is the catcher today. Joshua Hardiman will bat cleanup and play third base. Brendan Floyd will bat fifth and play left field. Braden Jones, the designated hitter, in the sixth spot. Grant Ryan, the second baseman, in the 7 hole. Tanner Jacobson will play right field and bat eighth. And Jake Mitchell will bat ninth and play center field. Aiden McGrath will get the start on the mound for the Fremont MOO today. For the Hastings Sodbusters, their starting lineup from top to bottom. Christian Loera will lead things off and play second base today. Drew Vega will get his first start in 10 days. He will play center field and bat second. Luke Cossey in right field and batting third. Weston Johnston, the cleanup man, batting fourth and playing third base. Jackson Crane plays left field, bats fifth. Joey Hecker, set to make his second game as a Sodbuster in the field. He will be the designated hitter and bat sixth. Jude Greaves, the catcher, bats seventh. Zane Wilson, the first baseman, will bat eighth. And Chase Miller will play shortstop and bat ninth. Marcus Miller, the hometown kid, will get the start for the Hastings Sodbusters today. Hopefully he can compound on his excellent start last time out. Loera, Vega, Cossey, Johnston, Crane, Hecker, Greaves, Wilson, Miller, and Miller, the pitcher for the Hastings Sodbusters, trying to rebound from a 5-game losing streak. They lost their last 2 games here at home against the Plainsmen by scores of 5-1 and 5-2, and then the Casper series that they were bested by the Spuds. They weren't necessarily blowout games in the first 2. The Sodbusters only lost those 2 games by scores of 7-5 and 8-7. That game was a 10-inning game in extra innings, but the Sodbusters weren't able to push across the go-ahead run in that game, but then the final game on Thursday, the Spuds put an exclamation point to the end of the Sodbusters' first half of the season, defeating Hastings 11-1 in run rule fashion in 8 innings. Spearfish, the first half champs. Sodbusters are playing for a second half title. And again, it's a little bit easier for them because they don't have to play Spearfish or Casper at all. It's strictly Fremont, the Plainsmen, the Prospects, the Bison, and the Zap in the second half of play. As the teams get set to go on the field, we're going to introduce tonight's national anthem. This is one of Jason Frew's boys from Aurora. Got up with him. He stopped me, said, hey, I'm doing the national anthem. Said, well, you'll go right down there, son. And where are you from? From Aurora. Oh, you're one of Jason Frew's boys? Said, yep. Said, he does a good job out there. So this is Trent. He's going to be singing our national anthem from Aurora tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Our national anthem, and let's play ball here at Duncan Field. Hastings Sodbusters and Fremont MOO, their third game of the season. Sodbusters with the 2-0 record against the MOO this season, looking to make it 3-0 against the hometown kid, Marcus Miller. Steve, what a great start Marcus had last time out. He was on fire in his start, which was just over a week ago on the 20th against the Nebraska Prospects. 7 2/3 innings. Did not allow a run and struck out 10 batters. Second time he struck out 10 batters this season. We know he's not usually a big strikeout guy. He's kind of a fly ball or ground ball pitcher guy, but he has found something different with the Sodbusters this summer.
And the only time he really struggled was against this Fremont MOO team, who came out, put a good effort together, got a big effort, 4 runs in the first inning, and Miller did not last 5 innings. Every time out, other than that game, he has given this Hastings squad a quality start, and I'm sure that may be in the back of his mind to come out and get a little better start. This Fremont team, they're pretty good at first innings. They started with a 3-0 lead in the Friday night game at Casper. They scored 2 runs in the first on Saturday against Casper, and so a team that really does a pretty good job of jumping on you right away, and hopefully Miller can put a 0 up and Hastings can get going offensively.
Offense will be the key for the Sodbusters. They had some good offense in their final 2 games of the series, their first 2 games of the series against Casper, but that last game they only scored 1 run, and then the theme kind of reared its ugly head again in that 2-game series against the Plainsmen, where the Sodbusters only scored 3 runs combined in those 2 games, 1 run and 2 runs in those games respectively. But like Steve said, the last time out for Marcus against the Fremont MOO, he only went 4 2/3 and allowed 6 runs. Marcus ended up making 2 starts against Fremont last year, and they scored at least 4 runs against him in both of those starts. So the MOO have had his number for the past couple of seasons, but Marcus riding the hot hand right now. The Hastings native comes into tonight with a 2.45 ERA, 25 strikeouts, only 7 walks in a total of 20 innings pitched. Right down the gut, a big swing and a miss. First pitch of the game right on time at 6:36 p.m. by Preston Gajewski. one of the Fremont players who is out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. He went to Northern Oklahoma College in Tonkawa, sends a ground ball up to the middle. First chance for Christian Loera at second base. A little bit of a new position for him, and he makes the play as the Sodbusters' everyday starting shortstop finds himself on the other side of the infield today.
You'll take your chances anytime it's hit to Christian Loera. Just really good glove, a lot of confidence no matter where he plays on that middle infield.
The Fremont MOO coming into today's game with still below a 500 record, which they've been at for most of the season. They were 3-3, and then that critical 8-game losing streak that has gotten them behind in pretty much every game so far since then. Caden Brzezinski is the next to dig in for the Fremont MOO. Takes a called strike on the breaking ball from Miller. Second one, a fastball. That one shaves off an edge as well. Caden Brzezinski, the Cherry Creek, Colorado native. D1 guy out of Butler University, did not play for the Bulldogs in the spring, but he's had a decent summer so far, 9 hits in 19 games outside. Interesting stat for him, he leads the team in walks and strikeouts, so he is usually doing one or the other. He's gotten 15 walks and 21 strikeouts, both best marks on the team. 1-2 way outside, and by strikeouts I mean that's the most strikeouts and the most walks, so strikeout stat you don't want to have, walks you definitely do want to have. But Caden Brzezinski looking to get the Fremont MOO their first base runner of the game as we lead things off here in the top of the first.
Just doesn't like to run. Just doesn't put the ball in play. I don't want to have to run. What's the deal with that?
Just got a piece of that one. And it's back to the catcher, Jude Greaves. The defense for Marcus Miller and the Sodbusters today, from out to left to right field, it's Jackson Crane, Drew Vega, Lucasi from third to first, Weston Johnston, Chase Miller, Christian Loera, and Zane Wilson. The aforementioned Greaves behind the plates. Miller from the wind with the count even at 2 apiece. Right back to him on a bounce, loses the hat. He'll run it over and flip it to first in time for the outs. Soft bouncing ball, Miller able to handle it right back at him.
Nice athletic maneuver there. I thought he was actually going to catch his hat in the other hand to really make an athletic looking play, but one way or the other, 2 up, 2 down. Put a 0 on the board right here, but it's not going to be an easy third out.
Cooper Fucino, he is the guy that's well known for the Fremont MOO and a guy who had lots of success last year, and he came on to this Fremont team right before the Sodbusters played them the last time, because he's only played in 14 of their 25 games. But in those games, .339 average, leads the team, or second best on the team rather, with 19 hits. He has at least one of every extra base hit. Waits on the breaking ball and bounces it softly to third. Over to his Weston Johnston. The toss over is in time, and how about the start for Marcus Miller? He sets him down 1-2-3 on 3 not-so-hard hit ground balls in the top of the first. Busters will look to answer first in the bottom of the first when we return from Duncan Field.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Half an inning in the books. It's the Sodbusters' chance to lead things off here. They'll have their top 3 batters of the order coming up. Christian Loera, Drew Vega, Lucasi, and the right-hander on the mound for the Fremont MOO. This is Aiden McGrath. He is a San Francisco native out of Skyline College. Did not play for them in the spring, but he'll be making his 5th appearance, 4th start for the Fremont MOO this summer. He's made 3 consecutive starts, has not seen the Sodbusters this year, but Total of 14 innings pitched, a 1-0 record. ERA of 3 runs even. Given up 15 hits, 13 runs, only 6 of them earned, 7 walks, and 16 strikeouts. He is 2 games off of a stellar outing against the Nebraska Prospects where he struck out 12 batters in just 6 innings of work. Last time out was 9 days ago against the Prospects where he got the win, pitching 5 innings, only allowing 2 runs. So off of the top of the Sodbusters order, Aiden McGrath will go against him. What's interesting, too, is that Fremont, they've got an excellent broadcast and social media and staff of that log. They've got an actual game notes log, so we keep track of how the Sodbusters do in their uniforms, but Fremont also does the same thing. More on that after the first pitch to Christian Loera, which is dropping right in there for strike 1. The Fremont MOO, which are wearing their orange pinstripe jerseys, they're 5-6 in those jersey combination this summer. 0-1 to Loera, way out in front of the breaking ball, 0-2. Loera back in the starting lineup for the first time since the doubleheader of the Plainsman series. He was ejected from the game due to a dispute with the Plainsman dugout, and he was not part of the Sodbusters road trip against Casper. McGrath makes quick work of him, strike 3. They will have to throw it down to first. Fucino takes a long time, but guns it down there. 3 straight breaking balls from Aiden McGrath, and Loera is down on strikes.
And the Sodbusters are 5-4 in the green uniform, so there's really no magic uniform so far this year for the Sodbusters.
Sodbusters had a magic. It was any uniform the first 9 games of the season, but that magic slowly slipped away, unfortunately. And let's see if Drew Vega can get the magic going. And good to see Drew back in the starting lineup. This is the first time he has appeared in a game since June the 20th. 10 days he's had off. We've been told he's been battling with a little bit of an illness, hasn't been feeling the best, and we asked multiple times on the broadcast. We saw Vega was not available to come off the bench in any performance when the Sodbusters needed him off the bench, kind of a replacement guy, so that was why, but he is back in the starting lineup today and much needed. But he is playing center field in opposite to his usual second base today. 1-2 count to him. Vega, a guy who tore it up for the Sodbusters last year, but this year so far, just a 192 average. Does have 15 hits and 13 runs driven in. 1-2 just a bit inside. Home plate umpire tonight is Kurt Schmidt. Jake Yeager is out in the field. 2-man umpiring crew here at Duncan Field. Aiden McGrath to deliver the 2-2 to Vega. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. McGrath's breaking ball looking good in the first 2 batters. He's got 2 swinging strikeouts in the first inning.
See if Sodbusters can put one in play. You want that 3-game, or those 3 days off to kind of yield some benefits, and thus far, the early returns aren't looking good offensively anyway.
In that 5-game skid, which the Sodbusters are on right now, they've hit .224 as a team. Put that in comparison to their .260 team average in their first 28 games in the first half. Luke Cossey, here's a guy that's loved to keep his excellent summer so far. Down the left field line, slicing away from Brendan Floyd, but it will be well foul. Luke Cossey, and he has been right up there with the team lead in hits all summer. Fortunately, the strikeouts are starting to pile up for him a little bit. He is swinging and missing a little bit more than we were used to seeing in the start of the season. He's got a 1-1 count against McGrath. Breaking ball hit in play to second base. That's Grant Ryan throwing on the run. And in time for the outs, both pitchers deal a 1-2-3 first inning, and we roll along to the second with no score at Duncan Field. Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East.
More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Welcome back to Sodbuster Baseball. We're through a quick inning of game here. Both pitchers setting down the side 1, 2, and 3 in the first inning. Marcus Miller will aim at 4, 5, and 6 for the Fremont MOO lineup, a team that has been so dynamite the past 2 years. They have made the playoffs last year. They were the ILB runner-up to the Casper Spuds, but just an 11-14 start to this year after going 34-22 last year. They have some of their big-name guys back that weren't here for the first part of the season, but for the Fremont staff, it's just been a little bit of mix of everything. Their pitching and hitting have been shaky at times. Nothing on the stat sheet really jumps out to you as one clear problem with their team. But like we mentioned, it's a new half of baseball. Everybody comes out with the same record and will look to battle for a second half Independence League title. Joshua Hardiman, the first to lead off the second inning, will take a ball up and away from Marcus Miller. Hardiman, a Sacramento, California native. He is one of the Midland University guys where Connor McGonigal, part of the coaching staff of. Laser beam foul down the right field side. In 18 games, Hardiman hitting .243. But he had an excellent spring for the Midland Warriors. Hit .329 with 10 homers in 48 games. Miller's got him 1-1. The southpaw delivers to the righty. Got the outside corner called on the off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miller, traditional fastball, changeup, curveball guy. That big curveball that just falls right off the table. It's his big feature pitch. 1-2, not close to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Low 80s early returns in the miles per hour category for the fastball. Curveball in the high 60s. And the changeup in the low 70s. That's all thanks to our Flight Scope technology machine, which sits right behind home plates. That big little plastic box that you can see just behind the home plate umpire right there. The count runs full to Joshua Hardiman. 18 hits for him, 6 doubles, a home run, and 16 ribbies this summer. Miller with the payoff. Got the call, strike 3 in the inside corner. And Hardiman, no argument there. He'll walk back to the dugout. First strikeout of the night for Marcus Miller.
You mentioned Fremont's struggles in the first half. They're probably getting a lesson from their head coach. Keep in mind, Fremont a year ago finished 4th place in the first half standings among the 5 regular teams, but they had a good enough record overall to have the second best record at the end of the year and make the playoffs.
Yeah, last year it was all about the Casper Spuds. First, that's Brendan Floyd getting hit by the pitch on a ball that ran inside from Miller. So there's the first base runner of the game for either side. Brendan Floyd will reach first base with 1 out. But last year, the Casper Spuds, there was just no beating them. I mean, the few teams were fortunate enough to beat the Casper Spuds in just a handful of games, specifically just 10 games for that matter. They won the first and second half and ended up beating Fremont in the Independence League Championship Series. Once again, if you're just joining us, Spearfish, the first half Independence League champions. And the winner of the second half, if it is Spearfish, it is the team with the best overall record. Next to Spearfish will be the one to meet them in the championship series. That's a laser beam down the line, but it hooks foul. Braden Jones had a double written all over it until the last seconds. Put a really good swing on that, but will have to go back to the box.
That's why it's not only Hastings that kind of feels rejuvenated. Really, anybody in this half, you've got Hastings not playing Spearfish, not playing Casper, but Fremont, Oahe, everybody in this side can kind of think the same thing. Look, the schedule's in our favor. Those two teams are going to play each other 10 times. We come out and take care of business. We can be the second half champs.
Ball 1 is outside, and you mentioned it's anybody's game, and even the Oahe Zap, which they are a team that have struggled for the past few years, but they got hot right at the end of the season. They ended the first half on a 5-game win streak. especially some valuable wins against Casper. The 1-2 from Miller. Backdoor breaking ball doesn't quite get inside the doorway. So it goes to a 2-2 count on Braden Jones, the designated hitter. Local Nebraska guy from Papillion. Just finished up his sophomore year with the Doane University Tigers. He hit 341 with 7 home runs for Doane this spring. 2-2 is downstairs, so we've gone from 0-2 now to 3-2 on Braden Jones. Miller having a very efficient first inning, having to work a little bit here in the second now. Still no score, just getting underway in the first and only game of this series, if you will, between the Moo and the Busters. Payoff. Line drive, slicing away from Vega, and that splits the gap, and that's going to score the game's first run. Coming all the way around, Brendan Floyd, and stopping at second with an RBI double is Braden Jones. The cowbells are out from the Fremont fans. The Moo strike first in the second inning on a perfectly placed double from Braden Jones.
And a neat opportunity for the Fremont folks. Not too long of a drive. Come and follow their team on the road here.
Number 24, Grant Ryan.
So for Braden Jones, that's just his second double of the year. He only had 5 hits in 11 games coming into tonight's game, and you can give him his 7th RBI of the summer. So Floyd coming around to score. Now Grant Ryan bats with a runner in scoring position. That's a foul ball right back to the screen. No balls and 1 strike to the 7th place hitter for Fremont. So after Marcus went 7 innings of scoreless baseball against his last opponents last time outs, it's kind of a reversal of fortune. I mentioned that Fremont has had his number of past couple of years, and they've got him early on and for a run in the second. Grant Ryan, an Omaha native, has only appeared in 5 games for Fremont this summer. 3 for 14 is his line. A double and 3 runs driven in. Playing ball at Northeast Community College. 1-1. Fastball shaves off the outside corner, according to Kurt Schmidt. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fremont, a team, a very doubles-friendly team. They came into tonight with 47 doubles in 25 games. That was their 48th just a batter ago. 1-2 to Ryan. Up the middle, that will get through into center field for a base hit. Rounding third is Jones. He will score easily, and that is going to be a 2-0 lead for the Fremont Moo. Back-to-back RBI hits for the Moo. Grant Ryan will get in on the fun. It's 2-0 here in the second.
When Fremont put up 6 against Miller the first time, they did a tremendous job of extending at bats, making Miller throw more pitches, and now they get back-to-back 2 strike hits, a double and a single now to get the 2 runs on the board after the hit batsman.
So for Grant Ryan, just his 4th hit and 4th RBI in his brief playing time for Fremont. Brief visit out to the mound from the catcher Jude Greaves to Miller. And they are not done yet. Only with 1 out, still plenty of room to work with here in this second inning rather. Now it's the 8-hole spot, Tanner Jacobson. Jacobson, the right fielder for the Fremont Moo. Way out in front of the breaking ball for strike 1. Ryan at first. He is a candidate to steal. He's 4 for 4 in stolen bases, but Miller, a lefty, he's got a pretty good move as well. We'll see if that comes into play. Does pick off to first, but Ryan read it all the way back in safely. Tanner Jacobson, a Blair native out of Cloud County Community College, so teammates with the Sodbusters' Creighton Jacobitz in the spring. Didn't play for the T-Birds in the spring, but Jacobson in 15 games, a .244 average. Strike called at the top of the zone, and quickly it's 0-2. That was pitch number 29 for Miller in this ball game. Once again, he had a very efficient first inning, but Fremont's had 3 straight reach here in the second. Miller way ahead of Jacobson. Doesn't get the call on the breaking ball inside, and it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Flight scope said that was a pretty good pitch. Very close to being a strike. Jacobson, 10 hits in 15 games. His only extra base hit, a home run. way high to make it 2-2. Miller, guy that makes starts probably about every 10-ish days or so. He did have an extended break in between his second and third starts, but it's been exactly 10 days since his last start. But for whatever reason, the Fremont MOO just know how to hit him. Backdoor breaking ball just outside, and once again another count well in favor of the pitcher has turned into a 3-2 count in this inning. Jacobson trying to keep the line moving for the Fremont MOO, already 2 home in this second inning. The payoff. Got him swinging on the breaking ball. Second strikeout for Marcus Miller, and a much-needed one for the second out.
Big comeback there for Miller, and that kind of showing the maturity. It wasn't going well. 3 straight had reached. See if he can get out of this with the minimal damage.
It'll be the 9th place batter, Jake Mitchell. Mitchell, one of the D1 guys on the Fremont squad from Iowa City, Iowa, and plays Big Ten baseball with the Iowa Hawkeyes. But he did not appear in a game this spring. 19 games, only 9 hits for him for Fremont this summer. Ryan remaining at first. Hasn't tried to steal yet. The 0-1 to Mitchell. He sends that one into left field. Over is Jackson Crane, battling the Duncan Field son, and he wins the battle. The flyout puts an end to the second inning, but Fremont gets a couple on the board with an RBI double and an RBI single. They have the lead. Hastings coming up after these messages.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Healthy crowd at Duncan Field tonight with their first of several home games this week. Got tonight, technically Wednesday, with their exhibition game here at home, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, where they will play home games here at Duncan Field. And can't forget about Monday as well. So a stretch of 4 games. Sodbusters have a couple days off and a few road games, and then that's where things get serious from July 14th through July 25th. 11 days, 10 games. 12 days and 11 games. Only 1 day off in between that, and all of them are home games, so we're going to be a busy crew here in this upcoming middle month of July. Let's see what the Hastings Sodbusters can do. They're 4, 5, and 6 hitters after Fremont got a couple on the board. Aiden McGrath will drop strike 1 in on the breaking ball to Weston Johnston. Johnston's been the juggernaut of the Hastings Sodbusters offense. Team leader in several offensive categories. Fouls that one off back to the dugouts. 347 average, 25 hits are team best. 3 triples and 20 runs driven in. In the Casper series, he went 1 for 8 in a couple of games. Weston Johnston, the Arkansas Tech freshman. Expect to see him get a little bit more playing time with the Wonder Boys next spring. In foul territory down the right field line. Nobody's going to get there. Caden Brzezinski takes a big tumble, going full speed out towards that foul ball. But lots of spacious area in foul territory at Duncan Field. Roughly 30 feet in between the foul lines to the out-of-play fences or chalk lines. And a big ballpark, as you probably know, 370 down the line, 367 to right, 405 to the alleys, and 408 to dead center field. The wind's kind of been shifting. It's mainly blowing from left to right field today. Missing for ball one is Aiden McGrath. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out for him, the Fremont pitcher in the first inning. Weston Johnston, he has hit it all over the place, showing off his power to all sides of the field. Not this time, though. McGrath, another nasty breaking ball to strike out his third batter in 4 batters faced.
Picture perfect day for baseball, though. We have not had many like this. 81 degrees, winds out of the north, 9 miles an hour. Light breeze out to right field. That's kind of rare here in a Nebraska summer.
We have seen 90-plus, even 100-plus games. There's a line drive into the gap. Closing in is the center fielder, Jake Mitchell. He runs it down off the loud line drive from Jackson Crane. Put a very good swing on it, did Crane, and he is unfortunately headed back to the dugouts on the fly out to center.
Jake Mitchell showing very good speed and covering the distance, and we'll see if the Sodbusters can get a 2-out rally start.
So they are still looking for their first base runner, and they will ask Joey Hecker to do so. He is trying to get his first Sodbuster hits in just his second game for Hastings. Did not play in the road series against Casper and only appeared in one game. That was against the Plainsmen 8 days ago. He went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Joey Hecker out of Pullman, Washington. Couldn't check his swing on that pitch right there. Goes around for strike one. Pullman, Washington, home of the Washington State Cougars, which is where he will be headed to play college baseball this upcoming spring. The 1-1, a little bit early on the breaking ball and fouls it off 1-2. Man, Aiden McGrath, he is going and he is locked in right now. That was just pitch number 20. And he's looking for his second consecutive perfect inning. Hecker, the righty, the designated hitter today. Slashes the fastball out of play to remain a 1-2 count. Good to have our center field cam back today. The extreme heats last week and the just gusting winds did not allow us to have it, but a perfect day to have that out there. Foul ball off the body of Hecker in the box, and the count remains the same. A lot of guys in the starting lineup did not play much in the past 5 games or even the road game against Casper. Loera, Vega, Hecker, Wilson all in the starting lineup today. Didn't see much, if at all, any playing time in Wyoming. Still a 1-2. Well, that pitch looked really good, but called a ball, according to the home plate umpire, and our flight scope thought it was good too, and I think Kurt Schmidt pointed that it was up, maybe, if I saw his hand gesture right. McGrath certainly thought he had strike 3, but still a 2-2 counts, and he hits him. And that's a little demoralizing as a pitcher. You go from strutting off the mound back to the dugout to hitting a batter and giving up your first base runner of the game.
Had Marcus Miller a couple of those moments in the top of the inning where he thought he had maybe strike 3 and Fremont would get a guy on. Maybe this can ignite a rally here and they can get it going with Jude Greaves.
Jude Greaves, a guy who has seen his moments here this summer for the Sodbusters. .245 average in 16 games with 12 hits. He had a couple hits in the road series against Casper. Also drove in a run. In front of the breaking ball, swing and a miss for strike 1. Jude Greaves out of Oak Grove, Missouri. Metropolitan Community College freshman, teammates with Chase Phillips in the spring. Didn't play for them in the spring. That gets away from the catcher Fucino on the wild pitch, easily allowing Joey Hecker to advance to second base. So the wild pitch and the Sodbusters are a little base hit away from getting one of those runs back from Fremont. If you take a look at the center fielders on your screen, they're playing quite deep right now, but we did mention the winds are blowing out, so any little soft single to the outfield should be able to score him from second. But a swing and a miss for strike 2. McGrath's breaking ball in these first 2 innings have been picture perfect. Sodbusters have not seen it out of his hand well. Have swung and a miss at a lot of them. McGrath trying to settle this inning, and he will with another strikeout on the breaking ball. 2 more makes 4 total for Ada McGrath, the Fremont starter. After 2 innings of play, Fremont still holds the 2-0 advantage. Top of the third is after this. You're watching Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Top of the third inning, Fremont in the driver's seat right now, but still plenty of baseball left to play. We'll turn you over to Steve Stein. Partner, take it away.
All righty, the Fremont MOO top of the order against Marcus Miller. It was the bottom of the order that got it done as they put up 2 runs on 2 hits in that second after he set down the first 3 in order. Marcus Miller already throwing 35 pitches to the first 2 frames, 25 of those coming in that second inning. As Miller hitting about 82 with his fastball. His curveball has been as low as 68. Meanwhile, it's been Aiden McGrath, an 80-plus mile-an-hour fastball up to 85, but it's his curveball, which has been about 14 miles an hour lower, which has been deadly. 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings against the Hastings Sodbusters. The second half opener for Hastings. Spearfish and Owyhee are 1-0. Casper and Fremont 1-1. The travel teams, the Plainsmen and the Prospects, are both 0-1. Still yet to make the debut. The Bison, they'll play some games in the second half to help fill other teams' schedules. Again, the first half winner was Spearfish. Who's going to win the second half? That's going to be the team that will play Spearfish for the championship. A year ago, Fremont battled back from a 4th-place first-half finish to go 20-8 in the second half. They ended up with the second-best overall record, and they advanced on to play Casper in the Independence League Championship Series. Here comes Peyton Gajewski. He grounded out to second his first time up, a lefty-righty matchup. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. 408 to straightaway center, 405 to the alleys here at spacious Duncan Field, 370 down the left field line, and 367 to right. First pitch swinging, bouncer back up the middle, and Loera, the second baseman, has it. And for the second time, Gajewski is out, 4-3 on the putout. And Caden Brzezinski will come to the plate for Fremont.
Yeah, you never guessed that Christian Loera is a guy that mainly plays shortstop. Looked really good so far in his 2 opportunities at second base. He's a guy that just loves the game. He can probably play anywhere that you put him.
Hastings Sodbusters coming into this game 16-12 overall, and the first pitch for Brzezinski is sky to the air to center field. That's where Drew Vega waits, and 2 quick outs. You'd love a quick shutdown inning and get the offense going here after that 25-pitch second. 2 pitches get the first 2 outs here, and Cooper Fuccino will try to keep it going for Fremont.
That's exactly what you need, a shutdown inning right here. Miller threw quite a few pitches in the second inning and get the Fremont starter back out there, and limited rest for him, and try and flip the script.
And Miller misses with the first pitch here. 1 ball, no strikes. Fuccino had quite the series at Casper. 9 out of 14. On Friday, he went 3 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. Saturday, check this out. 5 for 6, 5 runs batted in, 3 runs scored. He hit for the cycle, plus an extra double. It was his first home run. It was his first triple of the year. And if you're going to get those, you might as well get them on the same day and get your name in the Fremont record book. 1 ball and 1 strike to count now on Fuccino, and the delivery. Bouncer back up the middle, and grabbing it as the shortstop. Throw to first in time. Well played by Chase Miller. A 1-2-3 inning for the second time in 3 frames. It remains Fremont 2, Hastings nothing, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate wood-bat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Out of the bottom half of inning number 3, a 5-pitch inning for Marcus Miller in the top half to get the offense back to it. It'll be 8-9-1 against Aiden McGrath, who has been really good. He's thrown just 28 pitches to set down the Sodbusters 6 out of 7. His only blemish, Joey Hecker hit by the pitch with 2 outs in the second inning. It's Steve Stein, it's Ryan Valenta bringing you the matchup between the Sodbusters and the Moo. Hastings winning both of the games so far this year. Back on June 2nd, they won a 7-6 contest in come-from-behind fashion, scoring 3 runs in the 9th inning. June 3rd game got rained out, pushed back to June 7th, and the Sodbusters won that contest. It was actually a 7-inning game. They won it 5-2. They played that game in front of the regularly scheduled game between Fremont and the Nebraska Prospects. As early in the year, weather just played havoc with everybody, so you got in games when you could. So the reason that was only a 7-inning game is because Fremont played a doubleheader that day. Hastings had the single game in a makeup contest. And here comes Aiden McGrath as he will try to set down Zane Wilson. Wilson stands in the left-handed box, and the first pitch to him misses inside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Zane. Saginaw Valley Stater, 0.80 his batting average, 2 out of 25. He's got a double, a couple of runs batted in, and 4 runs scored. Had a decent spring, 298 with a home run and 9 runs batted in. Played in 32 games for the Cardinals. 1-0 pitch, and misses for ball 2. Zane Wilson playing first base today, with Chase Miller getting a start at shortstop and Loera at second base, with Drew Vega getting a start in center field. Those guys generally in different positions, but start of the second half, we may see a little more versatility. Guys getting different shots in different spots. I know they wanted to give Vega a chance in the outfield just so he would have more versatility when he goes back to Arkansas Tech. 3-0 delivery. And across for strike 3 and 1 the count on Wilson as the Sodbusters trying to get their leadoff man aboard here for the first time in this contest. Same 2 teams will play Friday evening, and that is a game time change, 4:30 on July 4th. So you can get out and enjoy the fireworks, have plenty of time to make an evening of it, and we'll have the baseball game between 4:30 and 7:30 or so and let you have your evening off. 5-pitch walk for Zane Wilson. He's aboard with Chase Miller coming up.
Yeah, you want to be the guy to get the rally started with the base hits, but you absolutely take the walk. McGrath's been so dominant, only the second base runner for the Sodbusters. Just get guys on base, and hopefully that next guy can keep the line moving.
Saginaw Valley State in the 8-9 spots as here's Miller, another Cardinal. Played in 10 games in the spring. He's 4 for 20 here in the summer season. Couple of runs batted in, 3 runs scored. He was squaring to bunt, but took the pitch for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Chase Miller with the top of the order coming up. Sodbusters trail it 2-0. Fremont 2 runs, 2 hits. Hastings no runs, no hits. And now a ball gets away from over in the Hastings area. Then we'll throw that off as Sodbusters trail this game 2-0. Mentioned a lot of home games during the month of July. Play Fremont Friday, and then 3 with the Plainsmen. That's actually the end of the year for the Plainsmen, as they had their quick turnaround as the throw to first almost got away. Wilson back over there. So the Sodbusters play a 4-game homestand against Fremont and the Plainsmen, have a day off before going to Oahe. 3 games in 2 days, including a doubleheader. Runner goes, pitch taken for a strike, and it's a stolen base without a throw for Zane Wilson as Chase Miller had squared to bunt and pulled the bat back.
Yeah, there's nobody paying attention to Wilson there. They're just focusing on the bunts perhaps there, and he's in there easily at second.
Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball, and now You think about bunting here to try to get him to third with only one man out. At this point, you're ahead in the count as Wilson picked up his third stolen base in as many tries. And it's a pop-up on the infield. A disappointing effort there for Chase Miller. And on to make the grab was Hardiman. Smart play for the shortstop, Gajewski, to make sure that's no chance for advancement as he hustled over to third base, and there's one out.
Yeah, Hardiman did make it look like the easiest pop-up there, and especially with the sun beaming down on the guys on the left side of the infield and outfield. Not the easiest play, but did make it there, and like you mentioned, might have liked to see a bunt there with the light-hitting Miller right there, but now you'll have to rely on the top of the order to get Wilson home.
And the top of the order, the first two guys struck out the first time against McGrath, and it's a first pitch strike to Christian Loera, struck out on 3 pitches, including one in the dirt. Sodbusters much better at home than the road. 276 at home, 237 on the road. Pitch swung on and missed, so 5 straight pitches have been 5 straight strikes against Christian Loera. Of course, the Sodbusters going 11-4 at home in that first half and just 5-8 on the road after dropping the 3 games at Casper to end the first half of the season. 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung at 1 in the dirt, and he is down on strikes again on 6 pitches. What a job for McGrath, who totally has Loera mystified, and Drew Vega will try to salvage the inning for the Sodbusters.
It's almost like Loera's in swing mode right now, kind of antsy to get back in the box after missing the last 3 games. Just at one point, you probably have to know as a hitter that he's going to keep throwing me that breaking ball. Hopefully Loera can keep that in mind for his next at-bat.
Andrew Vega, strikeout victim his first time up, and he swings and misses. So McGrath really has the top of the order mystified, much like Marcus Miller did against Fremont. He has set down the top of the order 1-2-3 on 2 straight attempts. The bottom of the order got him for 2 runs. Here's a bouncing ball to the right side. It's into right field for a base hit. Rounding third, here comes Wilson. The throw is going to be not in time. And it's an RBI single for Drew Vega, and the Sodbusters are on the board. It's 2-1, Fremont on top here in the third.
That's the Drew Vega we know, just a soft little opposite field single to right. Good diving attempt by Grant Ryan, just went under his glove. Drew Vega, a guy that struggled mightily in the middle of the season. He's got 3 straight hits dating back to his last 3 games and cuts the deficit in half.
Luke Causey tries to continue the frame here for the Sodbusters. He grounded a second his first time up. Causey stands in the left-handed box, and it's a ball taken the other way, pretty solidly struck. The left fielder goes back and makes the grab on his knees. Excellent effort there for Brendan Floyd, battling the sun, and was able to rob Luke Causey of extra bases. And that'll do it for the Sodbusters in the third. 1 run on 1 hit and 1 man left. We head to the 4th inning. It's Fremont 2, Hastings 1, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner. Head of the 4th inning, it's a 2-1 lead for Fremont. Sodbusters getting on the board. The RBI single from Drew Vega, plating Zane Wilson, who stole a base to get into position, and we'll see if Marcus Miller can get another shutdown inning. What a job for him. Threw only 5 pitches in the third to set down Gajewski, Brzezinski, and Fucino. And now he'll face Hardiman, Floyd, and Jones here in the visiting half of the 4th inning. Sodbusters mentioned the fact 16-12. This is the first time they have been only 4 games above 500 since they were 4-0. Remember, they started the season with 9 straight victories, and they kind of hovered around that 7 above to 9 above until the 5-game skid to end the first half. And every game looks big now as you're trying to win the second half. And if you see Spearfish win the second half, then you want to be the team with the second best record. And that's pretty big, losing those 3 to Casper, because Casper, the team you were battling for second and first with, and to lose all 3 of those really hurt. As the first pitch to Hardiman swung on and missed, no balls and a strike. Sodbusters got the 1 run back, and here's a little looper into right field and carried pretty well. Luke Causey had to put his glove up, and with the wind blowing out to right, Hardiman got more of that than I thought, and Causey takes away extra bases. There's 1 man out.
Freeze frame catch for Luke Causey. If you got a picture of that, it probably looked like he is soaring through the air. Excellent play by the right fielder out there. Luke Causey, he has locked it down there all year. Almost feel really confident every time a ball's hit his way that he's going to make stellar plays like that.
Here comes Brendan Floyd. He's first pitch swinging. It goes to the shortstop. 1-hop throw to first. How about Chase Miller gunning down Floyd? 2 quick outs here in the 4th inning. And Marcus Miller trying for another quick inning here and get the offense going again.
Just calm, cool, collected by Chase Miller at short. Knew he had time to set his feet, even though he didn't get a ton of momentum on the throw. Perfect hop throw over there to Wilson, able to keep his bag at foot. Great play by both parties.
Braden Jones puts Fremont on the board with an RBI double his first time up, and he takes strike 1. Mentioned the catch made a couple of batters ago by Causey. Causey really gunned one 94 miles an hour off the bat on his fly out to left that could have tied the game if not for the nice play out in left field. And here's a high fly ball to center field, carrying pretty well, but Vega's underneath it, and another 1-2-3 inning for Marcus Miller, and the Sodbusters will see if they can take the lead when we come back in the 4th. It's Fremont 2, Hastings 1, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
In the bottom half, inning number 4, it's Hastings trailing at 2-1, and Aiden McGrath gets right back out there after he threw a 15-pitch inning. Marcus Miller has thrown 45 pitches, and 25 of those came in the second inning. 20 pitches are combined in the first, third, and fourth innings for the Hastings Sodbusters. The model of efficiency here. Now you'd like to see the offense get going with Johnston, Crane, and Hecker against Aiden McGrath.
Yeah, the Sodbusters got one the last inning. The saying comes, runs come in bunches. Obviously, it didn't happen in that last third inning, but sometimes all it needs is just one to kind of reset the minds of the guys. Like, all right, this is how easy it is. We just have to play situational baseball. And they know how to play baseball at Duncan Field. Drew Vega's RBI single. Just textbook of Duncan Field baseball right here. And you got your middle of the order coming up here to try and tie this game up.
Talked about the Sodbusters hitting almost 40 points higher at home. Their ERA is 2.5 points lower here at Duncan Field as the right-hander Aiden McGrath brings it home. And Weston Johnston watches it go by for strike 1, no balls and a strike. He struck out his first time up. Weston, Ryan mentioned all of the offensive categories that he leads the team in. He also has some 9 multi-hit games, including a 3-hit contest against Oahe. Hits this one pretty well, the right center field gap, but taking a good line on it. Making the grab out there is Tanner Jacobson. So we saw Causey smoke one to end the third inning, and Weston Johnston hits it hard to open the fourth.
Yeah, back-to-back innings with good plays by right fielders, and that's what we mentioned. Johnston just has power to all spaces of the field. goes the opposite field right there, but unfortunately just right at a defender.
Jackson Crane hit it pretty well his first time up, but lined out to center. 1 out, nobody on, and the pitch inside to Jackson Crane, who comes into today with a batting average of .246, but .333 here at home. Another guy who has excelled here compared to away from Duncan Field. Couple of triples, 4 doubles, and 11 runs batted in. His 2 triples came in back-to-back games. His first 2 contests with the Hastings Sodbusters. Dribbles this one down the third base line where Josh Printer, the head coach for the Sodbusters, goes and grabs it. Printer his first year as the head man after playing for the Sodbusters for a couple of years.
Even a couple times this year, too.
Yep. And this pitch is lined foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes as Sodbusters short on middle infielders, so did play a game here against the Plainsmen and played one of the games up in Caspers. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jackson Crane, 1 out, nobody on in the bottom half of the 4th inning, and the pitch. Bouncing ball foul, good job for Crane to stay alive for the Hastings Sodbusters as a returnee from the Sodbuster team of a year ago. Had a really good summer for Hastings last season. .338. Cannot make contact on this off speeder as Aiden McGrath continues to pitch it well. There are 2 outs and nobody on the 6th K from Aiden McGrath.
Yeah, McGrath has been around the plate all night long, and as a Sodbuster hitter, you're thinking you're going to get something nearby the plate and you can spoil it off and hopefully get a pitch in your zone. Unfortunately, that one is way too far outside. McGrath knew what he was doing and placed it perfectly.
Here's Joey Hecker, hit by a pitch his first time up, and he grounds this one to the right side. Nice stop of the second baseman. The throw to first is not going to be in time. Hecker gets his first Sodbuster hit after being aboard as a hit batsman. Great effort for Grant Ryan, but there's 1 on with 2 outs for Jude Greaves.
Well, officially welcome to the Hastings Sodbusters, Mr. Joey Hecker, the Washington native. Needs just a handful of plate appearances to get his first hit as a Sodbuster. First one's always the hardest to get, and he's got that one out of the way, and hopefully several more coming for him this summer.
Jude Greaves, the 4th strikeout victim of the 6 now for Aiden McGrath, and the first pitch is missing for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Jude Greaves. .227 coming into today with 3 runs batted in, 8 runs scored, 0 for 2 against Fremont on the season, and the 2 games played so far between the Sodbusters and the Moo, both won by Hastings. The pitch across for strike. Hastings coming from behind. Marcus Miller actually started that day and left the game when the Sodbusters were down 6-3. Hastings would get a run back and then score 3 runs in the 9th inning to win it 7-6. Good bullpen game for the Sodbusters as they kept them close. Throw over to first base was not in time for Joey Hecker. Hecker a decent lead. They'll throw that way again. He had to dive back in, but plenty of time. Saw the only stolen base attempt. It was stolen without a throw by Zane Wilson earlier. Hecker takes off on the first movement. The throw down, and that is going to be in time. How about the gun? Thought it was a tremendous jump, and Cooper Fucino just no chance on Joey Hecker. It goes 2-6 on the putout on the caught stealing. And the Sodbusters send the minimum to the plate here in the 4th inning. No runs on 1 hit, nobody left, and we head to the 5th. It is still Fremont 2, Hastings 1. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Fast-moving Sodbuster baseball game as we head to the 5th inning. It's Fremont 2, Hastings 1, and once again, here is Ryan Valenta.
Thank you, Steve. Fast-moving game. We are here just under an hour of game time. We got going here just after 6:30, now 7:31 local time, and we are already burned through 4 innings of play. Marcus Miller and his opposition on the mound, Aiden McGrath, have pitched very good baseball so far. The only blemish is a pair of runs on back-to-back-to-back base runners against Miller in the 2nd inning. Since then, he has set down a total of 8 batters in a row. And here, coming to the plate, is Grant Ryan, the last batter to get on base versus Marcus Miller, which came back in his RBI single in the 2nd inning. 7, 8, and 9 coming up for Fremont, trying to get their first win against the Hastings Sodbusters this year. Miller, the lefty, just finished up his 3rd year with the Hastings College Broncos. And a very interesting gentleman. He's continuing his professional disc golf career, so he is throwing the Frisbee out on the links in a professional capacity, too. He's also an assistant coach for one of the Hastings Area Legion teams. And Ryan does break up the streak of 8 straights retired by Miller. He's got back-to-back singles and is 2 for 2 today.
Yeah, Ryan has certainly had the measure. Neither one of them have been hit terribly hard. Both of them right back up the middle, and leadoff man aboard for Fremont for the first time today.
So again, Grant Ryan came into today's game 3 for 14. He's now 2 for 2 tonight. And the next batter stepping to the plate, Tanner Jacobson. First pitch is a bit low. For 1 ball, no strike counts. Jacobson from Blair. Today 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Miller back in the 2nd. The 1-0 breaking ball also misses down low. Good eye by Jacobson. In 2 years for the Bears in high school, he hit .277 for Blair. 9 walks, 14 strikeouts, 10 hits for him in 15 games. Ryan with a decent lead. We've yet to see him try to steal. That's a line drive single into right field, but it's hit so hard right at Luke Cossey, they'll just go station to station. Back-to-back singles for the Fremont MOO as they double their hit total tonight, up to 4 in 2 consecutive batters. So Ryan up to 2nd. Jacobson on board with the single, his 11th hit this summer. Fremont, a team come into tonight's game with a .240 batting average. They've been very, very similar in their offensive and defensive categories. Their pitching staff has given up just 4 more hits than their offense, and they came into tonight's game scoring just about the same amount of runs that they had. In fact, their run differential coming into tonight is 0. They've scored 159 runs and allowed 159 runs. Of course, that has changed with the couple of runs in today's game. Jake Mitchell trying to get Fremont an extra run on the board here with nobody out in the 5th. Shows bunt, takes it back for ball 2. Mitchell flew out to Jackson Crane in left field, his first at-bat in the 2nd. He is 0 for 1. The Hastings Sodbusters, meanwhile, trying to stop a 5-game skid, which dates back to early last week. 2-0, showing bunts, pulling back for ball 3. Didn't miss by much, but looked like it was a bit outside. Here's Mitchell's been trying to give himself up here, but a rare occurrence where Miller has been around the strike zone and not in it. Crowd trying to get a little bit of life going for Miller, and he misses badly with ball 4. So that is going to be bases loaded with nobody out, and a huge chance for Fremont to get a couple of big insurance runs here early in this game still.
Isn't it amazing? 10 pitches for Marcus Miller in the 1st inning, 5 pitches in the 3rd, 5 pitches in the 4th. That Marcus Miller looked unhittable. He throws 25 pitches in the 2nd, and 3 up. 3 have reached here in this frame, and now he's got to find a way to minimize the damage and keep it moderately close.
So he has thrown a total of 9 pitches this inning, and only 3 of them have been strikes. 2 of them were balls that were swung on and put in play. So it's Fremont with a big chance here. Bases loaded and nobody out. Head coach Josh Printer out to the mound to chat with his infield to make sure that they have the right game plan on depending on where a ball is hit. Do they want to just try and turn a double play up the middle? They're going to try and cut down a potential runner at the plate. All just depends on where it's hit and how hard it's hit. And the person deciding on those factors here will be the leadoff Fremont man, Preston Gajewski. And he'll have Sodbusters have a little bit of a report on him because he has grounded to second base twice. Corners are in. Middle infielders play normal depth for a double play up the middle. But ball 1 is downstairs. Miller trying to find the zone here after 5 straight misses. It's gone a single walk, and nobody out in the 5th. 2-1 Fremont, trying to change that. That is a pop-up to shallow right. Cossey coming in, the right fielder. Runner tagging at third and will not come home. The throw-in is terrible, and it gets away from everybody, but nobody will advance. The throw back to third almost gets away. Oh, goodness. The Sodbusters are lucky to not have a run come home on the play. Cossey's throw-in, not a good one. Got away from not 1, not 2, but 3 guys in the infield. But the bases will remain loaded on the first out of the inning.
It was only about 15 feet up the line, but thankfully it bounced right to Marcus Miller, who was the third man in the line there, and then hustling back to third was Ryan as they tried to get him, and mentioned Miller's throw almost got away there as Weston Johnston saved it. Little snowball fight, but the Sodbusters survive it, and there's still now just 1 out with nobody home.
Defense remains the same for Caden Brzezinski. Almost gets hit by that pitch up and in. Brzezinski 0 for 2 today. Ground out back to Miller and a fly out to center. Brzezinski, the lefty, a 205 average. Trying to get back on the horse here. The 1-0 from Miller. Breaking ball misses for ball 2. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. Miller behind the count, 2-0. Got the first man out, so that's always the hardest one to get. Can the Sodbusters escape? Fouled back over our heads. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Fremont with 2 hits this inning. We've got 2 hits coming into the inning. They've got 4 total. Sodbusters with 2. Caden Brzezinski looking to get Fremont more in front. That's too high, according to home plate umpire Kurt Schmidt. So it is 3 balls and 1 strike. No place to put the batter Brzezinski. A walk means a run. Sodbuster bullpen is now starting to get loose. The lefty with a huge pitch right here. Ground ball, and it's past the first baseman and into right field. 1 run scores. Here comes the second runner around second. The throw is cut off. That's a 2 RBI single for Caden Brzezinski. Ryan and Jacobson score on the plate. And that's a perfectly placed ground ball through the right side. Wilson and Loera had chances at it. Neither could knock it down.
Game of inches, as Brzezinski didn't put much on it. Really good pitch there for Marcus Miller. You'd take that 9 times out of 10, but it just found the gap. And good coaching there to send not only Ryan, but Jacobson, as there was no way Cossey was going to get the second man out.
Now you have to deal with arguably one of the hottest hitters on the team right now in Cooper Fucino. 339 average, but he has been held quiet so far. He has grounded twice to the left side of the infield, once to third and once to short. Sodbusters defense returns to normal depth with first and seconds. Fucino not able to connect with the breaking ball. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-handed action in the Sodbuster bullpen. Jake Mitchell is at second base. Caden Brzezinski at first base.
Braden Cork getting ready for this Hastings Sodbusters.
If Cork comes in, he's a long relief guy. This would be the earliest that Miller would have to come out of the game if he can't finish the 5th. The 1-1, that is sprayed into the air way back in right field, but Cossey's going to have room. All runners tag at first and second to move up. Cossey gets it back in, and that is the second out of the inning, but Mitchell to third and Brzezinski to second base. Duncan Field holding that one, could have been gone in some other ballparks.
Yep, with the wind blowing out to right, you kind of wondered, but still plenty of room. Wondered, would he get there as Luke Cossey didn't have the greatest line on it, but his speed, able to kind of outrun that ball and get to it. And now an important test here as you try to minimize the damage with the 2 runs scored so far.
This will be the 7th batter of the inning, Joshua Hardiman. You will need to get a base hit or something of that nature to drive in a run with 2 outs. Miller's first pitch, down low on the breaking ball, stopped by Jude Greaves behind the dish. Also gets a little bit tricky now here too, because as you can see on your screen, Miller, the pitcher, he's still got the sunlight on him. The batter-catcher duo, they are in the shadows right now. So once Miller releases that baseball, it kind of disappears into the shadows a bit, which can affect some hitters, but not all hitters. Also some catchers, too. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball by Hardiman. He's 0 for 2 today, with a strikeout and a fly out to right. Fremont with 2 home this inning. They have scored 2 runs each in the 2nd and 5th. Got a total of 3 hits in this inning as well. The lefty against the righty. Down low, 2-1. Braden Cork's been still warming in the bullpen for the Hastings Sodbusters. He is likely to be the first guy out. Depending on when the day ends for Miller, he is at 67 pitches. In all 3 of his starts this year, he's gone at least 100 pitches. 2-1, too low. It's 3-1. Was just a bit low, according to Flight Scope. You do have first base open, but you're not looking to try and pitch around him and see another batter with Miller already laboring. 3-1, that's whacked into left field for another hit. Here comes the second runner around third, but it will get a late stop sign. It'll just be a single RBI for Joshua Hardiman. Only 1 run comes home to score, but Fremont's now with another crooked number on the board. They lead at 5-1 on the single from Hardiman.
Miller 3-1, had to bring it over, and Hardiman just waited on it and crushed it into left field. And give Fremont some credit. They have put their rallies together, 3 up, 3 down innings, but when they have had their opportunities, they have taken advantage of them.
The way that runner Brzezinski rounded third, I thought for sure he was going to try for the plate as well, but threw on the brakes at the last second. So now he'll give his opportunity to Brendan Floyd, the left fielder, to try and get another run home. That is foul. Just barely down the third base line by Floyd. Maybe a foot or 2 away from adding on another. So on the play, that was Mitchell scoring, Brzezinski stopping at third, and Hardiman on board at first base. He has his first hit of the evening, and his 17th run driven in of the summer, which is second best on the team. 1 ball and 1 strike after that one misses to Brendan Floyd. He has been hit by a pitch and scored a run, also grounded to short. Fremont's always been a pesky thorn in the side of the Hastings Sodbusters, but it's been Hastings being the thorn so far this year. 1-1, lifted in foul territory. Will there be a play for Wilson? It stays in play, but he's not able to get there in time. So 1 more strike. The Sodbusters can end this inning here with just the 3 runs home. I say just the 3 runs. Sodbusters have come back several times from deficits of around that margin here at home. Their first 9 games here to start the season at home, they were down by 1 or more runs in at least 3 of those games, and they came back to win those games. So they are no strangers to coming back in games where they are down. The 1-2 pitch out of play. Will do it again.
If you think it's not possible, they were down by 4 against Fremont the first meeting, but it was after a half inning of play here at Duncan Field.
Now, that very first game, they were down 2 runs going into the 9th and came back to win it on a miraculous walk-off. Sodbusters will need to find some magic on offense at some point. The 1-2 getting out of play on the foul ball towards the parking lots. We're here tonight, we're here Wednesday nights, and then Friday through Monday. 4th of July weekends. For the Sodbusters will play Fremont on the 4th for the second time in 3 years. 1-2 pitch, too low, and the count evens out at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sodbusters, the team went 32-20 last year. They're halfway to last year's win total as they start the second half of the Independence League season. 2-2. That one down the right field line. Trouble for Cossey, and that one is fair inside the line. Another run walks in to score. Here comes Hardiman. He'll stop at third. It's an RBI double for Brendan Floyd, and Fremont breaking it open here with 4 runs in the 5th to take a 6-1 lead on the ball that just snuck in the line by maybe a foot.
How do you get big innings? Get 2-out hits. 2-out RBI single from Hardiman, 2-out RBI double from Floyd, and they're not done yet. And here comes Josh Printer, the head coach for the Hastings Sodbusters.
So second mound visit of the inning will mean that Miller's day will come to an unfortunate end. The hometown kid, for the second time in as many appearances, he is knocked out by the MOO after 4 2/3 innings. Miller will be charged with the 6 runs at least, but charged with hopefully getting the final out of the 5th inning. Here comes Braden Cork. Sodbuster returnee will be on after his warm-up pitches. We'll be back with Sodbuster Baseball after these messages from our sponsors.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Pitching change here at Duncan Field as Marcus Miller knocked out here in the 5th inning. The starter lasts 4 2/3 and exits here with 2 outs here in the 5th. Braden Cork, the tall right-hander, on to try and put out the fire of this 4-run 5th inning for the Hastings Sodbusters. Cork on for the 4th time, will be making his 3rd appearance out of the pen. He's been kind of a long relief / starting guy, and last year with the Sodbusters, he was the innings leader. He's a guy that knows how to pitch in this field and does a very good job at it too. His numbers: 12 innings, a 0-1 record. He's given up 16 hits, 10 runs, 8 walks, and 17 strikeouts. That inflated numbers a little bit. He had that one outing against Spearfish back on June the 18th where in 5 innings they stuck with him, gave up 10 hits, 8 runs, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. But since then, he's done a pretty good job. Scoreless outing against Casper, and then a 2-run outing against Casper his last time out 5 days ago. 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Now here is Braden Jones, the 9th MOO to come to the plates this inning. He sends that one back over the heads of the fans in the right side concourse. Nothing in 1 count to Jones. He ended last inning with a fly out to center field. That was part of that 1-2-3 inning. But Braden Jones already with an RBI double under his belt this evening. Gets the strike called in the outside corner to make it no balls and 2 strikes. Cork staring in for the sign, now gets his sign, and from the windup, gets a swing and a miss. Breaking ball and 3 pitches, all he needs to get the final out of the top of the 5th inning, but not before Fremont puts home 4 to make it a 6-1 game. Busters with some work to do. Home half of the 5th coming up next as we are halfway through tonight's contest.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
6-1 your score. We enter the home half of the 5th inning as the Sodbusters give up the 4 runs in the top of the 5th, and they will have to go back to work against Aiden McGrath, the Fremont starter who has quieted the Sodbuster offense for just 1 run on 2 hits in his first 4 innings. Guy that's hadn't had the best numbers in his first few outings of the year, but he is showing like he is an ace here this evening. And for the Sodbusters, 7, 8, and 9 coming up against him. Just in the words of head coach Josh Printer before the game, you want to be playing baseball on the field where every inning matters. You know, the guys have gotten down this season. They've been in a bit of a slump right now, losers of 5 consecutive games. But it's got to keep fighting and keep yourself in it, because this second half of the season is going to be over in a blink of an eye before we know it. First batter, Jude Greaves, will take a pitch. That is just called a ball. Jude Greaves, Sodbusters and him making their second time through the lineup. Cracks it out to short. Preston Gajewski. Laser beam over to first in time for the out. And 1 up and 1 down for Aiden McGrath and the Fremont MOO. He ended up facing the minimum last inning. Joey Hecker got a 2-out single but was erased trying to steal second base. So that's now technically 5 straight retired in a row.
Like to find a way to get a run or 2 back. That was one thing when they made the comeback against the MOO the last time. They immediately responded when Fremont scored.
Ball 1 outside. To the next batter, Zane Wilson. That comeback win against Fremont back on June 2nd. Fremont did score 2 in that 5th inning, and the Sodbusters responded with a run of their own before they were able to put across 3 in the 9th inning. Sodbusters winners of that game 7-6, 5-2 the other game. That was in Fremont. Outside, 3 consecutive pitches to Zane Wilson. Wilson with a walk in his first plate appearance in the 3rd. Only appeared in 1 game as a defensive replacement in Casper in the past 3-game series. And he'll work another walk. Back-to-back walks for Wilson. For whatever reason, Aiden McGrath does not want to give him a pitch to hit here tonight. He'll be a base runner with 1 out.
Last time, Wilson stole without even a throw, but we know that Fuccino's got the capability after he gunned down Joey Hecker. We'll see what the Sodbusters do. Probably not a stolen base situation, down by 5.
You got to be very selective with every decision you make from here on out. Fuccino frames a pitcher-friendly strike outside of the plates, but called by the home plate umpire. Chase Miller at the dish for the Sodbusters. He was trying to bunt his last at-bat, but he ended up popping out to the third baseman as he wasn't able to get something down. He's quickly watching 2 strikes go by. Throw back to first on a hop, but dug out by Brzezinski. Chase Miller in the Casper series, he had to be forced into play with the Sodbusters short on middle infielders. Miller was 2 for 11. Misses inside, not by much. on the breaking ball to make it 1-2. After this, Sodbusters will see Fremont next on Friday. Then 2 more games, the 19th and the 20th after that. 1-2 from McGrath. That's whacked into left field. That's a base hit for Chase Miller. A 1-out single for him. Waited on the breaking ball and did a nice job keeping his hands inside to yank that into left field for the first hit for him tonight.
It's the 3rd hit for Hastings, and I mentioned the fact trying to battle back. You get your 8 and 9 aboard. 2 on, 1 out, and see if the top of the order can find some magic. The top 3 hitters in the order just 1 for 6 today against McGrath.
And trying for Christian Loera to try and get something going here. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts on 6 pitches. First pitch, that's a fastball into right field, going over towards Jacobson. He does make the catch. Runner at second will tag and advance to third. Wilson gets in there safely, and Miller back to first base. Surprising to see McGrath throw a middle fastball to Loera on the first pitch. He is out, but does advance a runner closer to home plate.
Big at bat in this game as Drew Vega came up with an RBI single with 2 outs in the 3rd. Another one here. You get 1 back and maybe give yourself a little bit of hope as we're in the middle of this game down by 5.
Yeah, big opportunity here, and those opportunities have come few and far between as McGrath has been mostly dominant on the mound. Drew Vega, RBI single his last time up. A breaking ball, get me over the plates for strike 1. Vega 1 for 2 today. He's now had a hit in his past 3 contests. Again, this is his first game in 10 days. He was dealing with some ailments that's kept him out of the lineup for the better part of almost 2 weeks. Breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. McGrath at 67 pitches. Now some guys are walking out to the Fremont bullpen, but don't believe anybody's actively throwing yet. 1-1 low, blocked by Fucino. Wilson at third. He tagged up and advanced on the fly ball from Loera. Miller at first. Runners at the corner. You'd love to have one here. Line drive. It almost takes out Zane Wilson down the line on a foul ball. Even down by 5 runs. Plenty of fans in the stand and even fans for both sides. We mentioned Fremont not super far away from here at Duncan Field. About a 2.5-hour drive. 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner, and Vega is caught looking on a pitch that was right near the edge of the strike zone. Sodbusters strands runners at the corners. They do not score in the 5th. Fremont still up 6-1. The 6th inning headed your way in a moment.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Sodbusters not able to get anything across in the 5th. Now they will look to put another, well, hopefully to put a 0 on the scoreboard after that 4-run 5th inning for Fremont. Braden Cork back on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters, and it's Steve Stein back on the mic.
6-1 Fremont on top. Marcus Miller, eerily similar numbers to the last time he faced Fremont. 4 2/3 innings, allowing 6 runs on 7 hits. Last time Marcus Went 4 2/3 innings, allowed 6 runs on 5 hits. Braden Cork threw only 3 pitches to retire the only man he faced. It was Braden Jones, and now it's going to be Grant Ryan, who started last inning with a single, as their 7 and 8 hitters singled. Their number 9 hitter on a 4-pitch walk, and well, that leads to the potential for pretty big innings, and they would plate 4 as the first pitch misses to Ryan for ball 1. Braden Cork brings it in, and a swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike. Good day for the number 7 hitter, Grant Ryan, 2 for 2, an RBI and a run scored. So it's been the bottom of the order, which has done some damage for this Fremont team. And it's been more than enough for Aiden McGrath, who is through the first 5 innings with 70 pitches thrown. Marcus Miller's day unusual as the count 2 balls and a strike. Braden Cork brings it in, and a swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller had 3 1-2-3 innings. In the first, third, and fourth, he threw a grand total of 20 pitches in those frames, but the 2 run-scoring innings, he threw 56 pitches when all 6 of the runs scored. Bouncing ball to the left side. The shortstop's got it. Chase Miller, throw to first in time. Miller's looked really good at short. I know he was unable to play for a few games, battling leg issues. His arm is fine, and he's looked really good at the shortstop position. Loera's been pretty much the everyday shortstop for the Hastings Sodbusters. He's over at second base today. Went out, nobody on for Tanner Jacobson, 6-1. Fremont on top. And Jacobson 1 for 2 as he singled his last time up and came around to score as part of that 4-run 5th inning, which really has quieted the crowd here at Duncan Field. 6-1 the score. Fremont on top. 1-0 delivery. And that pitch across for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike on Tanner Jacobson. Jacobson 0 for 2 with a run scored. Actually an RBI against Hastings in the matchup here, won by the Sodbusters 7-6. Hastings had only 3 hits at Fremont. Won the game 5-3, as that was just a 7-inning contest as the pitch misses, 2 balls and a strike on Tanner Jacobson. Braden Cork, high atop the hill, the Millard North product, now at Northeast Community College. And the pitch misses for ball 3, 3 balls and a strike. Still figuring out his next college stop as Braden Cork battling back from the effects of a car wreck after the Sodbuster season last year. Issues a 5-pitch walk, 1 on and 1 out. Did finish up his spring with an 8.29 ERA at Northeast, a sports management major, trying to get his general eds out of the way, and now looking to figure out what he's going to do for a 4-year. See, a lot of the guys still trying to figure that out. Jake Mitchell, it's getting late as tomorrow is July. Mitchell, number 9 hitter, walked and scored a run his last time up. Was trying to give himself up on a sacrifice, and Miller could not get it close enough for him to put one in play. Eventually took a 4-pitch walk, one of the key at-bats in the inning, and then they would get 3 run-producing hits to end the day of Miller. 0-1 delivery, and this one is popped up into right field. Second baseman Loera back and makes the catch. 2 outs and back to the top of the order as Jacobson's back to first base. Braden Cork hitting 88 miles an hour with his fastball. His slider at 81 to 83. Curveball at 75 as he has come in and set down 3 of the first 4 he's faced, and will try to take care of Preston Gajewski. Gajewski is 0 for 3. He is one of the guys probably happy to see Marcus Miller done for the day. Throw over to first, not in time. And here's Scott Galusha, who has joined us. I thought it was the booth mate Ryan Valenta returning, but we'll get the perspective of Scott Galusha as the pitch is taken for a strike. Scott, kind of a tough day so far.
Yeah.
I was mentioning the really weird breakdown. Marcus Miller, 20 pitches thrown in his 3 scoreless innings, 56 pitches thrown in the 2 run-producing innings as the ball gets away, runner in scoring position now. 2 outs, and it's a 6-1 game.
You know, Marcus is really, really good when he gets ahead. And when he's forced to throw a strike, things just get harder. They're good hitters, and hats off to Fremont. They did a nice job at putting the barrel on the ball, which is good for them. But really it comes down to one thing. Right now, in about the last, say, week or 10 days, give or take, we have not been very good with 2 outs, whether it's offensively or defensively. Teams are getting 2-out hits against us, and we are not taking advantage of those 2-out opportunities. I mean, we've had 5 shots at it. I think we've left a runner in scoring position 3 or 4 of those innings, and when you do that, you just keep putting pressure on yourself, because we've surely had opportunities. I'm not sure how many people we've left on base, but a decent amount through 5 innings, but we just can't get that big 2-out hit.
As a runner back at plate after a little visit to the mound, the pitch fouled away as 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Gajewski, as that one got a piece of the catcher, Jude Greaves.
Yeah, the last one got the left arm of Kurt behind the plate there. That doesn't feel very good. Doesn't matter where you are, and I can tell by his gait that it's still hurting him a little bit, but that's part of the job, and you're just going to get those sometimes. You just have to literally grin and bear it.
Yep, Kurt Schmidt was dinged last time. I think Greaves got a part of that one, and now 1-2 with 2 outs. Runner at second, 6-1. The scores were in the top half of the 6th inning. As the pitch comes in, and that's a bouncer back up the middle. It's fielded by Miller. Throw to first. He's looked good at shortstop as they'll set him down without any runs being scored. And I was talking to Coach Printer, Josh, before the game, and in baseball, it can be so humbling. When you're winning, it feels like you're never going to lose, and when you're in a stretch like this, it feels like you're never going to win. And got to find a way to even out the highs and lows, and just need to find a way to battle through this.
Yep, that's that's just how baseball works. But right now we're in one of those downswings where teams are getting big hits against us, and we're not taking advantage of all our opportunities. So we just got to keep having good plate appearances and try not to press too much. Although that's much easier said than done. But again, it's such a complex game, and yet getting ahead, strike one is your friend if you're a pitcher, and they're doing a better job at that than we are. And 2-out hits, and they're doing a better job than we are, and that's why that's 6-1. I mean, I know we only have 3 hits, but their hits have all come in big spots, and we haven't been able to get that. But, that comes and goes, and we're having some good at-bats. I thought we've hit a few balls hard and didn't get rewarded, but that's part of how baseball just works.
As this Sodbuster squad trying to find a way, and I mentioned it to Josh before the game, 3 days off, even though it hasn't started well today, but probably pretty big for this team after a long old stretch of baseball.
Yeah, that was, the summer schedules are always difficult, and there's always going to be those stretches just because of field availability and everything else. But we asked those kids to play 18 games in 16 days. And, I don't care how much you love baseball, it's still a lot of work when you start getting into that last week of games where you have to travel and you've got all these things you need to take care of. So it's difficult. It was really nice to get them a few days off, and then I think they'll be back fine. I mean, this is a pretty slow week for us too. We got a day off again tomorrow, a game Wednesday, day off Thursday, and then we play a little while, get it going again in this final stretch of the year. But we've got to get better at 2 outs, both offensively and defensively.
It's going to be a pretty good spot in the order. You'd like Causey, Johnston, Crane to try to start the comeback here, 6-1, and just got to think about the magic you had early in the year. Battle back from 4 runs down against this same team to win 7-6, and just kind of find that mojo again.
Yeah, all 3 of these kids have had good at bats today. Hit the ball hard, at least a time through. This is the 3rd at bat, I guess, for Causey. So I know he hit a ball pretty hard to. Actually, both fields, his first time up, single to right, I think, and then or mostly up the middle, and then he hit that ball really good to left field, but just didn't carry enough.
Yep, Causey, that was the big 3rd out back in the 3rd when he lined out to left with the Sodbusters still with a runner on. Maybe you could have got an extra run there, and you saw Johnston with a high fly ball to right field. This one struck to the right side and foul. 2 balls and a strike on Luke Causey, first man to bat here in the bottom of the 6th. Sodbusters trailing it 6-1.
Although we'd like to get a crooked number up there, we just gotta. I think if we can just scratch one across, maybe 2, and just kind of put a little pressure on them, because right now it's kind of free and easy for them. Right now they're kind of cruising with a 5-run lead.
And McGrath looked really good. Did a nice job of battling through situations, and his curveball, particularly in the early going, he struck out 4 in the first 2 innings, and now is up to 7 strikeouts in the game.
How many pitches has he thrown?
He now is, the pitch is missing for a ball. McGrath has hit 75 pitches today, and we're still just in the 6th. But a leadoff walk, and maybe that begins it for the Hastings Sodbusters with Johnston and Crane coming up.
Just got to string together a few good at bats and continue to put the pressure on them, but we can surely score in bunches. So
5-pitch walk issued there to Luke Causey, 1 on, and Weston Johnston mentioned he really crushed it to right field, and with the wind blowing out, wasn't going to get out of here, but high fly ball and well played by Tanner Jacobson out in right for the Fremont MOO.
Yeah, the ball seems to be carrying to center and right center a little bit tonight.
A rare day when the wind is blowing out here in a summer as temperatures in the 80s. Is this the best weather day we have had for a home Hastings Sodbuster game?
It is absolutely the best weather. It's not too hot, not too muggy, not too rainy. So this is the best night we've had so far, and we'll get a bunch more of those here in July.
Pitch across for strike, 1 ball and 1 strike on Weston Johnston. Yeah, you're hoping the way the schedule worked out with Fremont having to play 3 in Casper that they would be a little leg weary, but they come out and they have had Marcus Miller's number a little bit. They put up almost the same numbers as they had last time, and a line drive to right field, and look out here, first and second, nobody out with Crane, Hecker, and Greaves trying to come through.
Really good at bat there, not trying to do too much, just kind of served it to right and got keep the line moving. So good start for the Busters here in the 6th.
Sign flashed by Josh Printer in the third base box. Corey Caranda coaches at first as Scott Galusha back from vacation, although when you're the owner, GM of the Hastings Sodbusters, there is never a time off, and we apologize for that you had to deal with baseball stuff.
You know, that's just part of the job, and it doesn't really seem like a job most of the time, and that's why I love doing what we're doing and the people that we work with. But there's always things that need to be done and need to be taken care of, and unfortunately, that just doesn't ever turn off. And so I did have a good time on vacation with my whole family. My aunt and uncle, Jim and Gail, do such a good job, and went on vacation with them for years and years and years. And but yeah, so it was nice to be on the lake, got a little sun, got a little boating time, and always good to have. I had 3 of my 4 kids there, so that's fun, and a grandson there, so that's always a great time to get away a little bit and just do some things you don't want to always do.
Jackson Crane had squared the butt, pulled the bat back, and we've seen Hastings have some pretty good success with that. This was fouled away, and Crane swings at this one, and the count the way of Aiden McGrath. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out. 6th inning, Sodbusters trying to rally down 6-1.
Yeah, you know, I think Jackson, his reaction, he knew he missed a pitch to hit there.
And now going to have to battle and watch out for the curve from Aiden McGrath, trying to come out with that big first out. The runners go, bouncing ball to the left side, and it's going to go foul. Nice decision there for the third baseman for Fremont as Joshua Hardiman played back on it. It went foul. Really good jump at second for Luke Causey. He may have been able to beat that one out.
I think he was going to. That was a really, really smart play, heady play by the third baseman there for the move.
So now, still 2 strikes. Good job of fighting off that pitch for Jackson Crane.
I'm not sure he would have got Jackson. Jackson's pretty quick down the line, and that was a really good decision for the move there.
Another 0-2 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball right back to the pitcher. Throw to second for 1. Over to first. It's thrown away. Sodbusters will get a run home and have a runner at first base on the throwing error by Preston Gajewski, as it was a tailor-made 1-6-3 double play. And Gajewski just airmailed it, or I should say spiked it into the turf. The Sodbusters will get a run home and still have only 1 out.
Yeah, he had more time than he thought on that turn, although the first feed wasn't the best. I'm not sure what they're going to talk about here.
As are they going to maybe say that Johnston going into second base had some sort of an issue with the slide. They're not going to call it that way. There'll be a runner at first. And technically no error on the play because there's no more advancement. You're going to have a runner score. Actually, you do get an error to get Causey home.
You get Causey home. You do have to. If you would have been on third, then you're right there.
But get the error to get Causey home. The Sodbusters are going to pinch run here at first base. So Johnston is forced at second, 1-6 there. Crane aboard on the fielder's choice.
Is that Shabry, 18?
I thought, is Shabry still here? I thought...
Shabry is here till the 12th.
Till the 12th.
I believe that's... I think that's an 18. No, it's 10.
Okay, so Chase
Phillips.
Chase
Yep.
Phillips, okay. So Chase Phillips pinch running at first, a decent lead for him, and the pitch is across for a strike as Joey Hecker trying to come through. He had an infield single his last time up, also hit by a pitch. So Jackson Crane, no RBI. Now he's lifted for a pinch runner here with Chase Phillips running at first. Pitch low.
Down. Good.
And 1 ball and 1 strike. Hastings Sodbusters down 6-2, so they do get 1 run back. You'd like 1 more here, and then you feel like you got a fighting chance heading into the final third of this game. Down just 6-3 is McGrath trying to battle his way through this one. First error of the game committed by the Fremont MOO. Sodbusters have played good defense today.
They have. Chase Miller looks really good at shortstop. He played there at Casper out of necessity and has really looked natural there, looks more comfortable there than most places. Get through there, darn it.
And a grounder to first. They'll throw to second for 1. Over to first, and that gets away. A little collision, but Hecker is going to be safe, and you just hope that the pitcher's okay as Aiden McGrath tried to come over to cover, and those...
Yeah.
Basically, Hecker went over the top of him. I think everybody's going to be all right.
Looks like it. You know, I'm not sure they should have thrown that because he wasn't there. I think Joey was going to beat him there anyway, I believe, on the replay.
So another fielder's choice grounder will be the second out of the inning, and a runner at first with 2 outs. The Sodbusters down by a score of 6-2. Luke Causey scored the run earlier in the inning on that grounder from Jackson Crane. We'll see if Jude Greaves can continue the inning.
They tried the hidden ball trick there, Steve.
So a little trickery as I'm watching my scorebook, and now you can see Josh Printer come down the line. He's probably going to ask whether the pitcher actually was on the rubber at the time.
Yeah, and if he was, it's a balk.
Yep. So they're going to... The wheels are turning. Kurt Schmidt going to have to go and talk with Jake Yeager to make sure he was not on the rubber.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, something I think they tagged Joey out, so I feel like either, I suppose they could call him safe just to make both sides happy, but I think it's, there you go, they called it a balk. Okay. You have to do one of those, because if he wasn't on the rubber, then Joey Hecker should be out.
Okay.
And so, yeah, there you go. He must have went to the rubber.
All right, so Bach will put Hecker into scoring position. I'm glad you're watching this game. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well,
there,
you're keeping your stats. That's what I'm here for. You're doing
every
your
little
stats.
bit helps.
But yes.
And now here's a big chance. You got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs now, and a big swing at 1 out of the zone from Jude Greaves. Here's an opportunity to get that big 2-out hit. Had 1 earlier from Drew Vegas. He had a 2-out RBI single back in the 3rd inning to put the Sodbusters on the board. At that time, they trailed 2-1.
That was old Drew, just hitting a solid line drive to right field. That's what we like to see. So yeah, that's another opportunity for us to inch a little closer.
Here's the pitch, and that's across, and 2 quick strikes to Jude Greaves. Going to have to battle here.
Yeah, he's pulling off the ball a little bit. He doesn't have a lot of coverage on that outside part of the plate right now. So.
And the 0-2 pitch. Swing at 1 in the turf. Going to have to throw to first. Fucino gets that done. That ends the frame. But the Sodbusters do get a run on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 man left, as we'll keep Scott handy here. 6-2 the score. Fremont on top of the Sodbusters as... well, you're going to have some replacements coming. You mentioned, so Shabry is still here at this point.
Shabry's here.
For another, but he's going to be heading out here in the next week or so.
He's going to head home on the 12th, so he's here for almost a couple more weeks. So he'll get back in the lineup here a little bit. We're going to try to take care of his arm, make sure he's as healthy as we can get, because he's got a little bit of an arm problem. And so we're trying to be a little careful with him. But, we lost our captain, Ryan Jarvis, went home after the road trip, which we knew was coming, and that's fine. So we've got Cale Jensen will be here on Friday. We've got a new pitcher that will be here on Thursday. That is Josh West. He's from Alma College. Actually plays against Joel Skipper in Joel's league up there in Michigan, and he's got a lot of experience, and so he's gonna he's going to step right in here at Duncan Field, and I think he's going to be really helpful for us on the mound. And then we've got the Plainsman, one guy that played for the Plainsman. When they're finished with the Plainsman, he's going to play with us, and that's Brady Alexander. And he's at the University of Ohio, so he's a nice player. And then let's see here, Cohen Nelson from Grand Island High School. He's just going to come throw a couple innings for us, and hopefully we'll be able to talk him into staying. But right now his plan is just to come pitch a little for us for a day or two. So we do have some replacements coming, and that's kind of nice. We got Cooper Harrell's on vacation. He's on a cruise with his family. So, Coop, if you're watching, enjoy that time with your family. We appreciate all you do for us. Look forward to getting you back here in about a week or so.
6-2 as we head to the 7th inning. Braden Cork out there for his second full inning of work. Came in and struck out the only man he faced in the 5th and worked around a one-out walk. And Braden Cork is kind of his specialty. He's been a good long reliever the last couple of years. He's been a starter and has done a lot of things for this Hastings Sodbuster team. Nice to have him back at the fold.
Absolutely. Really happy to get him back. He was our best pitcher last year. He started off in the bullpen and worked his way into the starting lineup, and he was really good for us. And Braden had a tough year physically after he got in a car accident after he played for us last summer, and that kind of derailed his year. But he's pitched really well in the summer. Spent the first half in the Northwoods League, and really happy to have him back. He's been back for a couple weeks now, and just really solid and just a wonderful young man.
Caden Brzezinski with the leadoff single. He had the big 2-run single in the 5th inning to give this game a little more separation at 6-2 now. And here's Cooper Fucino coming off that cycle plus a double on Saturday as part of his 5-hit game for Fremont, the only game they won in 3 at Casper. And Fucino flew out to right his last time up. He gave it a pretty good ride, but a good job for Causey to get underneath that one. Pitch taken for a ball. Runner started to go, then stopped, and Brzezinski back to first.
Fucino can hit it, and he looks like today he's trying to hit one hard. He's coming off the ball a little bit. I'd like to see us stay away a little bit on him, see if he can stay on one long enough.
Pitch right across for a strike there. Fucino, a Creighton University guy, and did not play against the Sodbusters early in the year. Fucino played in 6 games for Creighton. He was one of their better players for Fremont last year, .324 with 4 home runs last summer. 1-2 pitch on the way. Take it inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cooper Fucino. Runner at first, nobody out. Fremont trying to get the run right back after the Sodbusters clawed for 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning.
It was really nice talking to Chad Miller, the owner of the MOO.
Pitch lined into right field. That's a base hit, and he get Fremont stringing hits together. They're going to have runners at the corners with nobody out. In their run-scoring innings, they have found a way to get hits in bunches, and that's the way you put crooked numbers on the board.
Yep, that was the middle of the plate there, and he did a good job at just not trying to do too much there. Just took it right back up the middle, and a good piece of hitting. And now we got to get a break, got to get a ball hit at somebody.
So Joshua Hardiman will come to the plate. He had the RBI single. They had 2 2-out hits last frame from Hardiman and Floyd to end the day for Marcus Miller and put the finishing touches on that 4-run 5th inning, and they're trying to get the run back and much more here in the 7th. Pitch taken for a strike at the letters. No balls and a strike on Hardiman.
Got to figure out how to work our way out of this and minimize here and keep us in the game. Be a big momentum swing for us if we could figure out how to wiggle out of this.
Pitch fouled away. A strikeout would be a big start to it, and he's quickly ahead of Joshua Hardiman. No balls and 2 strikes. Midland University guy out of Sacramento. 10 home runs for him in the spring. He had a multi-hit game Saturday against Casper as part of that 19-5 non-run rule game. Pitch taken down low. Hardiman went 2 for 6, a double, a home run, 4 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. I want to talk about a long old day at the ballpark. When the visiting team scores 11 in the 9th, that game will wear on a little bit.
I saw the score, but I didn't see how it went. Attaway.
Big strikeout there, the first out of the inning, and now the Sodbusters a double play ball from getting out of this with no damage done. But Brendan Floyd has been tough as he had an RBI double his last time up.
I still feel like we're maybe throwing too many strikes right now. I mean, that was a pretty good pitch. I got a swing and a miss, which is great, but that had a lot of the plate on it as well. So see if Mr. Cork can find a couple corners, couple edges here, and get a little roll over ground ball.
As here's a bouncing ball to the shortstop. Throw to second for one. Over to first. 6-4-3. Chase Miller, Christian Loera. Over to the first baseman, Zane Wilson. And how about that? No run scored.
Fantastic. Not really the rollover ground ball, but that was just a well-hit ball, but it happened to be right at somebody, and that's why I always think hitting in double plays is such a horrible stat, because usually what it means is you hit the ball hard and just happen to hit it right at somebody. So that was a good at-bat, good wood on that ball, but a tailor-made double play for the Busters, and hopefully that will continue that little bit of momentum we got with a run in the bottom of the sixth. We need to add to it here and just keep plugging away as we finish the last 3 innings.
To keep Scott on for another half inning if you want to be, or if you need to go,
I'm
fine.
gonna stay for a half if that's okay with you.
Yep, that'll work, and then we'll turn things over to Ryan Valente the final couple of innings anyway, but 6-2 right here. Sodbusters on the short end, and again, the American Legion All-Stars, Cornhusker League All-Stars will have an exhibition game. That'll be a lot of fun on Wednesday.
It is fun.
And then a 4:30 start time for July 4th when Fremont will come back.
Yep, we're gonna go at 4:30. That way we can get a nice day of baseball. We got some hot dog and drink specials that'll be there for 4th of July, and get people out of here so they can go do what they want to do that night if they so desire. So that's why we're gonna go a little early that day. Fireworks just don't work for us at Duncan, and I apologize for that, but it just doesn't work. We can't do it in the field. And it's just kind of a pain to do what they ask us to do, so we just decide not to do it. But
well, you can get, I mean, I want to say it, but you can get fireworks anywhere. It used to be, the show used to be such a cool thing, but now everybody can shoot rockets anywhere, it seems like. So it's
you can just come hang out at my deck the last couple nights, and it sounds like World War III in our neighborhood. But
dogs love it. Yeah. But it's the fireworks show just pretty much all year. The public fireworks show is just kind of an afterthought to me. It's like there's so many other people who can afford those rockets. So.
Yep. So I will go home that night and hang out with Karen. We'll probably sit on the deck and just listen and watch and try to make sure our dog doesn't have a heart attack.
Well, meanwhile, Sodbusters trying to get something going. 8-9-1 coming up. And how about the 8 and 9 hitters? They're a combined. They've been on base 3 out of their 4 plate appearances. 2 walks for Wilson, single for Chase Miller, and see if they can kind of set the stage and set the table for the top of the order.
Yeah, their teammates again. And we got to get into. They got some people stretching at least in that dugout or the bullpen. I can't see if anybody's throwing. It's not a great setup for the bullpen. But anyway, if we can get in their bullpen, we got a chances, and that's why you got to just hang around, and try to get to the bullpen.
So we'll see what Wilson can get done as he takes on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and a strike, and haven't been many strikes thrown to Zane Wilson, who's walked twice against McGrath. Other than that, he's been really good in terms of not allowing free passes. He had 1 other walk besides the 2 to Wilson. He's quickly ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Wilson's had a couple nights. He's seeing the ball pretty good right now, and he's just he's a plus athlete and playing a little first base today. He looks like a first baseman. Not really a first baseman by trade, but looks like he's doing a pretty good job.
Guy who is a finance major at Saginaw Valley State. Scuffled at the plate a little bit, but showed his speed on the bases with his 3rd stolen base of the summer.
You know, he was a pinch hitter, and he got some play for them last year. They think a lot of him, and so do I. He really works hard, and he's a really good athlete. He can help us out in a lot of places. Just, you know, he hits the ball really well at BP, but just a little steep right now, a little bit at the plate, but an impressive athlete and a plus kid for sure.
Grounds out to the first baseman here, and Chase Miller will come to the plate as he is 1 for 2, had a single. Sodbusters had first and second back in the 5th inning with 1 out, but the 1 and 2 hitters both going down and couldn't score there. Did get a run back in the 6th inning on an error.
Chase had a little bit of an ankle problem, and we got him back healthy, so it's really nice to see him back to mostly full speed, maybe not quite as quick as he normally is. That ankle is a little bit tender still, but he's playing a very solid defensive game for us right now.
Yep, he's been one of the guys who has filled in at that shortstop spot, giving Christian Loera a day off from that position, and Loera's looked really good at second base today. Of course, Jaden Shabry played a few games at shortstop, but his arm just not allowing him to really get in the lineup on a consistent basis, and he'll be ending his time with the Sodbusters here in a couple of weeks.
You know, he really did. He worked his way into being a regular for us, and then we knew he could pitch and wanted to pitch, and he's got a little bit of a he's had it before. He's got a little bit of a pinched nerve in his kind of upper shoulder, and it's just it's getting better, but not as fast as we would like. So he's going to go home and do some rehab on the 12th, and so we're going to miss him. But really nice young player. Again, an incoming freshman. Not quite sure where he's going to go yet, but he's going to be a good player for sure. He just has a lot of intangibles that I think are really important.
Chase Miller just could not get the bat off the shoulder there. Watches strike three. 2 quick outs here in the 7th, and Christian Loera will try to ignite the offense. He's had a tough day. Struck out on 6 pitches his first 2 times up, and then flew out to right back in the 5th inning, as Aiden McGrath's been pretty good for this Fremont MOO team.
Yeah, he has. He's getting ahead, and he's pitching on his terms. And when you do that, again, the stats don't change in 100 years of baseball. You get strike one, and the hitter's average drops about 100 points. And he's doing a nice job of that tonight.
Right-handed action for the Sodbusters in the bullpen, and a half-hearted swing for Loera has just not had any kind of read on McGrath so far, as he's down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes, and kind of want to shout, "Here comes the curveball!" But you never know. It's so easy up here.
Yes.
0-2 pitch on the way. Instead goes to the fastball. Loera got a decent piece of it to third, and the throw is in time and on the money from Joshua Hardman. The Sodbusters are gone in order here in the 7th. Scott, hope for a big rally.
Yeah, hope for a big rally here late in the game. Not really what I had planned for staying an extra half inning. We're supposed to get another run there, but hey, thank you for all you do, and we'll see you next time.
Scott Galusha, owner general manager of the Hastings Sodbusters, as it is 6-2 Moo, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
It's Fremont 6, Hastings 2, as we get set to head to the final 2 frames. To take you home, here's Ryan Valente.
Thank you, Steve. It's Sodbusters still down by 4. They did get a valuable run back in the 6th inning, but neither team able to push across a run here in the 7th. And how about the day for Aiden McGrath for the Fremont MOO? He goes 7 innings, 2 runs, and only 4 hits in his start. He's at 101 pitches, so his day is done for sure due to pitch count limits. Hopefully the Sodbusters can put up another 0 here and maybe put up a couple more runs against the Fremont bullpen when they come up here in the bottom of the 8th. But you got to get through the top of the 8th first, and it's 6, 7, and 8 due up for Fremont. Braden Jones the first to dig in. Grant Ryan followed by Tanner Jacobson. Jones today, an RBI double, a flyout, and a strikeout. Braden Cork still going strong on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters. However, there are multiple guys up and moving around in the Hastings bullpen. Fremont have only scored in 2 innings today, 2 in the 2nd, 4 in the 5th. They were held scoreless in the 6th and the 7th by Cork. The 2-0 called a strike at the bottom of the zone by home plate umpire Kurt Schmidt. 2 balls and 1 strike to the Fremont 6th place hitter. Cork overthrows that fastball. 6 runs, 9 hits for Fremont. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Sodbusters. Pretty well played game as well. Only 1 error by Fremont in the game, which was back a couple innings ago. 3-1, check swing, but held up, and it's ball 4 downstairs. So Cork walks the batter. That's his second walk of his outing. Again, he came on with 2 outs in the 5th inning. He has worked 2 full innings, 2 1/3 to be exact. The Sodbusters in danger here of dropping their first game against the Fremont MOO this season, and in danger of dropping their 6th straight contest. Out of play, a foul ball by Grant Ryan. He's had a nice day, 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. One of them drove in a run, but he grounded out his last time up to shortstop.
Brock Cross is ready for the Hastings Sodbusters if called upon.
Cross, a valuable bat. Wondered why he might not be in the lineup tonight. That's probably why, because he was going to be on the mound at some points. Grant Ryan at the dish. Jones at first with his leadoff walk. And Braden Cork misses high and tight for ball 2. Well, for Cork now 39 pitches. He has pitched more than 59 pitches in each of his first 3 outings, so length no issue for him. 2-1, out of play, foul down the right field line. Shadows completely covering the infield now, minus the exception of Loera at actually, the Sodbusters have a defensive replacement in. Up at high and tight. Sodbusters now have Chase Phillips in left field. Christian Loera slid over to shortstop, and according to Game Changer, Jaden Shabry's at second base.
We thought Shabry had left. He is actually staying until July 12th.
Awesome. So Shabry, a guy who's had some arm issues and just some other ailments as well, but he's given the opportunity to come in as a defensive replacement today. Solid infield for the Sodbusters. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Popped up, but it's going to sneak out of play into the stance. So the count remains full, and Grant Ryan putting up an excellent fight against Braden Cork here. So that's changes made after Chase Miller had his final at-bat, and sub out him for a defensive replacement, so a new batter will come up to his spot in the lineup. That one in the air and playable on the infield. First chance for Jaden Shabry. Backs up, and he does make the grab. That's the first out of the inning, and Grant Ryan now 2 for 4.
Large first out there for the Sodbusters, and great job last inning for the Sodbusters and Braden Cork to get out of it first and third, nobody out, thinking that that was important to keep him scoreless. We may see a pitching change right here as you try to minimize Braden Cork's pitches and give an opportunity for Mr. Cross.
Well, that is what's going to happen as Braden Cork's day is done after 44 pitches. And a new arm on for the Hastings Sodbusters coming up. Fremont still in the lead 6-2. We return from the top of the 8th with 1 out after these messages on Sodbuster Baseball.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
New arm on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters. A little bit of a business pitching change. Tell you about that in just a second. Brock Cross, the two-way guy for the Hastings Sodbusters, on for the 7th time this season. It'll be his 6th appearance out of the pen. Ross actually made a start a couple of appearances ago against Spearfish, but he's got a 2-0 record on the season so far. 13 hits, 7 runs, 8 walks, 10 strikeouts, a 4.85 ERA for Brock Cross. His last start, or his last outing, the roughest one of all. 4 days ago against Casper, an inning and 2/3. He gave up 4 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts in that loss against the Spuds. So he comes on, and his first batter he'll face is Tanner Jacobson. And he'll miss up high for ball 1. Cross, an incoming freshman. Also to Washington State. Teammates with Joey, going to be spring teammates with Joey Hecker next season. Called a strike at the middle of the plate to Tanner Jacobson. He is 1 for 2, a single, a strikeout, and a walk. Braden Jones remains at first. He led off this inning with a walk. Big swing and a miss. Jacobson comes up empty. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cross has a big fastball. He's also got a pretty electric secondary pitch to go along with it too. He is a tall dude. Got some extra height to put in some extra heat on the mound. What does he come up with? 1-2. The breaking ball, it's grounded to short. Taking it himself to second is Loera. On to first. That's a twin killer. The double play for the second straight inning ends the Fremont threat after they get a base runner on. The minimum comes to the plate, and what a job by Brock Cross. He gets the final 2 outs on a singular pitch in that right there. New arm on the mound for Fremont. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-2 your score.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
A new arm on the mound for the Fremont MOO, and Sodbusters can take a deep breath of relief here as they will not have to face Aiden McGrath for the first time today. The starter, excellent. Quality start through 7 innings, only allowing the 2 runs on 4 hits. And he stakes his first arm out of the bullpen, Chase Nelson, to a 4-run lead. Nelson, a Lincoln native out of the capital city, a product of St. Thomas University. He'll be on for his 3rd time this summer. His number 7 and a 3rd innings pitched, an 0-1 record. 4 hits, 8 runs, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, a 5.72 ERA. Had a pretty good outing last time out against the Prospects, but it's been well over 2 weeks since Nelson has seen the mound here. So he will go up against the Sodbusters. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Drew Vega, the first to lead things off, against Chase Nelson. It's out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nelson, a 2024 graduate of Lincoln East High School, team that has been in the state championship game for the past 3 consecutive years, and they've won 2 championships. Drew Vega today 1 for 3. This is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Vega with the RBI single in the 3rd. He's also struck out twice. Got to get something here. The Sodbusters were set down in order in the 7th. Vega late on the fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sodbusters have tomorrow off. All-Star exhibition game on Wednesday. Thursday off. And then Friday right back here against Fremont. 2-2 to Vega. Swing and a miss. Got the breaking ball to have him swing and miss. And Vega is down on strikes for the third time tonight.
Kind of hoping that it would be the Chase Nelson that ended the day against the Hastings Sodbusters in Fremont. He was the losing pitcher, going 3 1/3 innings, allowing 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Only 2 hits, struck out 3, but walked 2. The Sodbusters able to reach him in their only run-scoring inning in that victory in Fremont.
The Sodbusters return that favor here. Really his only bad outing of the year, if you will. And it's Luke Cossey batting with only 5 outs to work with for the Sodbusters. That breaking ball misses. It's no ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Just missed a bit high. Luke Cossey today hitless in 3 trips. Ground out, fly out, and walk. He did score the second run back in the 6th inning. Downstairs, it's 2-1. Luke Cossey coming into tonight's game after a 3-hit game in the series against Casper back on June 25th. He'll watch ball 3 go by. Well, Cossey started the 6th inning with a walk and ended up scoring a run. This is a little bit different. Slashed out of play, and the count will run full. Classic rivalry game between Hastings and Fremont. 2 teams usually keep it close between one another. And the payoff from Nelson. Off the fist, slowly dribbled to second base to Ryan. Charging, throwing on the run. It's just in time for the outs.
Really good job for Ryan, and early returns on Nelson. Kind of like most pitchers in this league. About 84 for the fastball, 71 for the curveball, changeup 74 to 75. Sodbusters see if they can find a way to get something going with 2 outs.
If you don't get anything here, you face at least a 4-run deficit in the 9th inning. Weston Johnston takes a big hack, but fouls it back to the screen. Chase Nelson 2 up and 2 down. The Sodbusters have now been retired the past 6 consecutive batters, dating back to the 6th. The 0-1. High and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Weston Johnston. He's hit the ball hard twice today. Had the single in the 6th and the hard hit fly out back in the 4th. The outfield playing him pretty respectable for his power. Breaking ball falls out of the strike zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Weston Johnston, one of our many Sodbuster spotlights, which you can find on Spotify. Search up the Sodcast. You can find features of most of our players that we have covered so far this season. We'll have our next Sodbuster Spotlight later this week. Steve Stein caught up with said mystery player earlier today, and we'll feature that later this week. Tune in, we feature those before every game. Ouch. Oh, that's a double doink there that hits Johnston and the umpire. That's a hit by pitch with 2 outs. Johnston will reach first base, and Kurt Schmidt got a little bit of that too. All parties will collect themselves, and maybe even it got the catcher too. I don't know, but it got at least 2 guys behind the plate.
Should get extra point. In banana ball, that's probably some sort of extra points for that. You know, if you foul it off somebody, you probably get something extra, but not in this game. Do get opportunity here. See if you can find a way to get a 2-out rally.
Well, now it's Chase Phillips coming up to the plate. This will be his first at-bat tonight. Chase Phillips came on as a pinch runner for Jackson Crane back in the 6th inning, and also a defensive replacement afterwards. Phillips behind on the fastball from Nelson. Chase Phillips, one of the Central Nebraska guys from Aurora. Guy who is just coming off of Tommy John surgery. Did play for Metropolitan Community College in the field this spring, but he is being used as a pitcher and hitter for the first time. And speaking of hits, he gets hit right there. So Nelson has plunked back-to-back batters with 2 outs. And that'll give an opportunity for Joey Hecker to try and make this game a little bit closer.
Get 6 more of those, man. Just keep on finding your way to first any way you can.
Any way, indeed. That's 3rd hit batter for Fremont pitchers today. They've hit 39 batters in 25 games coming into tonight. Here is Joey Hecker, fresh off his first Sodbuster hit. Flies it out of play to the left side and for a foul ball. Joey Hecker had that aforementioned single in the fourth, grounded into a fielder's choice in the sixth, and ended up reaching second on a unusual balk call. The Moo tried the hidden ball trick, but not according to the rules correctly. 2 on with 2 outs. Hecker fouls it off his leg, and he's down to his last strike.
And he was the other guy hit by a pitch, so if history can repeat itself, Sodbusters would have the bases loaded.
Hecker hit by the pitch back in the second. So he is 1 for 2 today. Only took him 5 plate appearances to get his first hit as a Sodbuster. But Nelson in the driver's seat right now. He's got a plethora of options to choose from here. The 0-2. Fastball blew it by him, strike 3. The 2 hit by pitches do not come home to roost, and the Sodbusters are retired for the second straight inning without a run, and we go to the 9th. Final call for each side. Fremont leads it 6-2.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Ninth inning, last call for both sides. Fremont has kept this 6-2 lead since the 6th inning. Sodbusters fell behind early 2-0 after the second, got one back in the third. But the difference so far in this game, the major difference, which has likely played effect on Sodbusters' hitting approach at the plate and just overall demeanor in the game, the 4-run 5th inning for Fremont's getting them their 4-run lead. Hastings got one back in the 6th, but nothing doing for either side since then. 9-1-2 coming up for Fremont here in the 9th.
They just haven't put much pressure on Fremont defensively. 11 strikeouts for Sodbuster hitters today compared to just 4 strikeouts by the Sodbusters against Fremont.
It's Brock Cross back out for his first full inning of work. Jake Mitchell tries to lay down a bunt. They don't mean to stereotype, but Mitchell's got to be one of the shortest Division I guys that probably is on a Division I roster for the Iowa Hawkeyes, of course, as we've told you. Up high, interesting note about Mitchell. His grandfather is Dan Gable. He was the head coach of the Iowa men's wrestling team from 1976 to 1997. In the span of 21 years, they won 15 national titles. Did Hawkeye wrestling.
And Jake's brother's name is Gable.
Likely in respect to his grandfather there. Super cool family moments, but Jake choosing the path of baseball. The 2-2 from Brock Cross with the bases empty. Flied out of play. It'll stay the same counts. Mitchell today is 0 for 2. He has walked once, has flown out, and also popped out. Cross with the 2-2, way outside with the breaking ball, and the count works full. Cross came on with 1 out in the 8th and induced a inning-ending double play, so we got 2 outs with 1 pitch. The full count's way outside. It's a leadoff walk. Mitchell walks for the second time today. And we mentioned the Sodbuster pitching staff with the offense with 11 strikeouts, but their pitching staff just issued walk number 4. They've only struck out 4.
I still don't think I'd mess with Jake Mitchell even if he's small, because I'll bet he wrestled as a kid. His brother plays baseball at Iowa too, so probably decent enough athletes. And with Granddad's lineage here, nah, I'm not gonna mess with him.
Oh yeah, absolutely no disrespect or trying to pick on him whatsoever. Because Mitchell's on first base and I'm up here in the press box.
I'm guessing 140-pounder maybe in high school. I don't know.
That's a very good guess. I would bet on that right there. Mitchell with a good lead, but not going. And the pitch upstairs. Wouldn't be surprised to see Fremont try to steal a base here. Even just getting another run here for part of an insurance just puts so much more pressure on the Sodbusters when they're already trailing by 4. Pitch from Cross to the top of the order, Preston Gajewski, missing with 2 straight. 2 balls and no strikes. Now the 5th time through the Fremont lineup. Gajewski, a goose egg in the hit column in 4 trips. 3 ground outs and a fly out. Cross takes a big breath and misses way high to make it 3-0. Cross on, and you wonder how long he is planning to go, because I mentioned the Sodbusters pitching staff or the coaching staff, they've used guys in kind of lesser fashion than what normally would be. They want to make sure that guys are fresh for other games, and so maybe they can bring them back a day sooner than if they kept pitching them. Ball 4, back-to-back walks. Gajewski is on base for the first time tonight. Not a fun time to walk the 0-for-4 hitter right for there, and Fremont with an opportunity in the 9th with 2 on and nobody out.
When we saw Cross to begin his pitching career with Hastings, he was just nothing but a strike thrower, but he's really lost the zone his last few outings. You hopefully can find a way to work his way through this as you have a little visit to the mound from the shortstop as Christian Loera came over to have a word, and the catcher comes out as well. But Brock Cross was really had masterful control in his first couple of outings. That's kind of gone away a little bit. Still definitely has the stuff, but still just a graduating senior from high school. Still working through things as he adjusts to the college level.
Yeah, that control stat right there. 4 outings totaling 5 2/3 innings, no walks. Then his 1 start against Spearfish, he walked 6 in 5 2/3. So the same number of innings, but 6 walks. Strike called at the knees to the beer batter, Caden Brzezinski. Heard the PA guy, Ty Avronic, say, sorry guys, I'll choose a better beer batter next time, but still an opportunity here to get the beer batter, even though alcohol sales have ceased here at Duncan Field for the evening. Cross with the 0-1. Brzezinski fouls it back to the plates, so that he is now unofficially the water fountain batter. Free water at all drinking fountains if he strikes out. You just want to get him out any way you can and hopefully keep the runners where they are right now. Brzezinski is 2 for 4 with a 2 RBI single and a plain old single. Cross ahead in the counts. Way outside.
Sodbusters 11 out of 15 in striking out beer batters in home games this year. Yes, that is a stat we keep.
Well, we've got everything. Got everything on deck, because what fun would that be without it? Sodbuster fans wanted Kurt Schmidt to ring up the batter there, but that's high and away. Good call there by Schmidt. So from 0-2 now to 3-2 on Brzezinski. Excuse me, 2-2 on Brzezinski. The righty-lefty matchup. Popped in the air to the left side. Loera racing out in the outfield grass, and he's able to make the catch well into outfield territory for the first out of the 9th inning. Good play.
Yep, did a good job calling it off. The Sodbusters then, the guy who was playing third, Ethan Foley, hustled back in to third base as Foley comes in as a defensive replacement to make sure there wasn't going to be any chance for advancement from the runner at second base, Mitchell.
Ethan Foley in for Weston Johnston. Other defensive changes, none to be mentioned. Everybody else the same than what it was the last inning. Still 2 on with 1 out, and here is Cooper Fucino, takes high for ball 1. Runner at second is Jake Mitchell. Runner at first is Preston Gajewski. Fucino, he's had his first base hit of the day back in the 7th. He misses that one out of play, 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Looking ahead to the Sodbusters' 9th inning, they've got their bottom of the order coming up. And they will need to get at least 4 runs, and that's the magic number they hope for right here. Brock Cross with the 1-1 pitch to Fucino. Blew it right by him, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fucino, a guy that has his fair shares of strikeouts. He struck out 14 times in 14 games. But he also comes into tonight's game with a .339 batting average. Cross ahead, looking for the put away here. Doesn't get it, and that breaking ball is outside. 25 pitches now for Brock Cross in his 2/3 of an inning. Correction, it's a full inning for him, but still have yet to complete an inning from start to finish. The 2-2. Got him swinging. Upstairs fastball. Fucino chases one out of the zone. And a big second out on the strike 3. First time that Fucino's been struck out tonight. He'll finish the evening likely 1 for 5. So it'll be up to Joshua Hardiman to keep this Fremont inning going here in the 9th. Hardiman's gone down by way of the K twice. He also has an RBI single to his rap sheets today. A knee-buckling breaking ball that's just inside and a bit high. Did miss by much, though. The 1-0 pitch. That is cracked to center right at Drew Vega. And he makes the headlong catch. Some traffic on the bases for the Fremont MOO as they get first and second with nobody out, but they can't push across any of them. And the Sodbusters will try to post another miraculous comeback here at Fremont, here at home. They trail by 4. They need that many to keep this game going when we return in the 9th.
CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Do or die for the Hastings Sodbusters. 3 outs to work with in order to get 4 runs. They've only scored 2 tonight, and they will face Chase Nelson once again for the Fremont MOO, trying to get the final 6 outs of the game. And it's Jude Greaves to lead things off for the Hastings Sodbusters. Zane Wilson, and then a new hitter in the place of Chase Miller will follow him.
Elsewhere in the Independence League, Spearfish beat the Plainsmen 12-9, the first game of a doubleheader after they had a rain out yesterday, and it's Spearfish on top in the second game of that twin bill, 3-0 as they try to go 3-0 to begin the second half.
Prospects and the Zap Idol today as the Bison will get going in their first game on Thursday. Forward to see them in action as well to get some more contests. The Sodbusters will first see the Bison on July the 16th. Well, here is a pinch hitter to start off the inning for the Hastings Sodbusters instead. This is Graham Hilton coming on in the place of Jude Greaves, who is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Graham Hilton with a 2-0 count on him, a .256 average for him. in this pinch hit opportunity. Will take a strike at the bottom of the zone. Hilton 10 hits in those 15 games. Just finished up his sophomore season at Northern Oklahoma Enid. Foul tip off the catcher's mitts. Fucino got him in a protective spot, thank goodness, and it's a 2-2 count to Hilton. It's been a reliable catcher for the Hastings Sodbusters, but looking for him to get on in a pinch hit opportunity tonight. Downstairs and a good take to make the count run full. Been a bit of a struggle for Hilton. He's 0 for his last 6 at the plate, but he has found his way on base without the ways of the hits. Would love to get him on to start the inning. The payoff pitch swung on and missed, pulled the string with a full count, and Hilton way in front of it. That's the strikeouts there for Nelson, his third in his evening.
And now 12 strikeouts for Sodbuster hitters. It is tough to mount an offensive attack when you are just not putting the ball in play.
And that is now 5 of the last 6 games where Sodbuster hitters have struck out at least 8 times. The strikeouts have been trouble for the Sodbusters in the recent going. See what Zane Wilson can do. That pitch was back foot hunting, but dodges it. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Sodbusters in danger of dropping 6 in a row here tonight. Off the fist, slowly hit the second base. Charging is Grant Ryan, has plenty of time to flip and throw. Is actually a pretty close play, but it's in time, and Sodbusters quietly down to their last outs of the bottom of the 9th inning. And getting the at-bat's going to be Jaden Shabbery for the Hastings Sodbusters.
Good to see him in the lineup. He had to DH there for a few games and did come in defensively. His arm not in great shape, but is able to play second base a little bit.
Jaden Shabbery, 15 game. He's a .260 hitter with 13 hits. He's watching strike 1 go right by. Jaden Shabbery, a couple of hits as of recent. Did not play in the Casper series. And did play 3 games in the 4-game Plainsman series. Shabbery, the final hope for the Hastings Sodbusters, as they're down 6-2 and just have not gotten the bats going in any capacity tonight. Off the nub of the bats, Shabbery and the Sodbusters down to their last strike. Fremont a strike away. Heck of an effort by the Fremont pitching staff to dominate this game from start to pretty much finish tonight. The 1-2 from Nelson. He bounced it in there. Lawn dart misses for ball 2. Stick around. Our post-game shows after this. We'll give you tonight's numbers, give you a recap of the game, and get a chance to talk with head coach Josh Printer, his thoughts of tonight's contest. Deuces wild, way outside. Shabbery works the count full if he can reach, and the top of the order is waiting on deck. Sodbusters came back from a 2-run deficit in the 9th inning against Fremont, their first game of the year, but a little bit farther of an opportunity this time. Sodbusters do have life here. They will get another batter to the plate as Shabbery works the walk.
So you see there's a chance.
Yes, I am, Steve.
Why not?
We have seen, well, have we seen crazier things happen?
Not many. No, not. You just don't get that vibe. But, a couple of more hit batsmen, walks, and well, you never know.
Sodbusters had a gigantic comeback against Casper a couple weeks ago, too. But, again, it just wasn't a 4-run deficit, and they weren't down to their last out. Christian Loera, he's looking to get on base for the first time tonight. He is 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Again, Sodbuster hitters plagued by 12 strikeouts from the Fremont pitching staff. Throw back over to first, and don't think Jaden Shabbery's going anywhere with down by 4 with 2 outs. Nelson with 3 strikeouts, McGrath with 9 for Fremont. 0-1 for Loera, way outside, 1-1. Pretty brisk moving game as well, minus the long top of the 5th inning. It has been pretty much zeros and the occasional 1 since then on the scoreboard. The 1-1 to Loera. Big cut and a miss. And the Sodbusters once again down to their last strike. Is there any Duncan Field magic left in the offense? Nelson just needs one more pitch. Taking a long look in, and finally decides on a sign. Loera will wisely call time to reset. Sodbusters just with 4 hits tonight. They have not had a base hit since the 6th. Nelson picks to first again. Once again back in safely is Shabry. Sun is finally set here at Duncan Field, and not too often where we finish a game that is still kind of light out. 1-2, line drive into center, falling, and it will get down for a base hit. Loera floats it into center field, and Sodbusters still with a heartbeat here in the 9th.
And Loera, if nothing else, good to see that for him. He has really looked lost at times against Aiden McGrath. Gets a chance here against Nelson, and it's a good swing on it. Sodbusters 2 on, need another base runner to get the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th.
So Shabry to second, Loera to first, and Drew Vega, he's got one of the now 5 hits tonight. Again, the first hit since the 6th. Moose still and out away. Right down Broadway for strike 1 for Drew Vega. Been a tough day. Besides the RBI single for Drew, he has struck out his other 3 times. Here's the 0-1. Vega sprays that into center. Racing in is Mitchell. He dives and he can't make the play. Here comes 1 run home to score. The other runner to third. And it's another RBI single for Drew Vega. 3 straight have reached with 2 outs. And the Sodbusters cut the deficit 6-3. And they will indeed have the tying run come to the plate.
And if you have to have the tying run coming to the plate, how about the only guy to hit one out of Duncan Field this year in Luke Causey? So I'm just saying. So you say there's a chance.
It ain't over until it's over. That's exactly right. Drew Vega now 2 for 5 with a pair of RBI singles. And here is Luke Causey. Takes a big swing and miss. Looked like a breaking ball there from Chase Nelson. Causey today 0 for 3 with a walk. He has not put the ball in play for a hit yet. Still just got to keep it moving. You want to play Duncan Field ball. Yes, Causey has put it out here, but a feat that it is hard to repeat twice. Well, if you want to look on the bright side, the wind has pretty much died down. There is no wind here at the ballpark now. 0-1, just a bit early as cranks that foul down the right field line. So for the 3rd time, the Hastings Sodbusters find themselves down to their last strike in the 9th inning. First and third with 2 outs. The tying run at the plate. Chase Nelson still trying to find that final out. Causey the 0-2. Not close. Tension building with each pitch that goes by. The 1-2. Whoa, that one got away from Nelson in the opposite batter's box. So now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's pitch number 45 for Nelson as he is still trying to complete 2 innings. Time called as Loera needs to lace up at third base. And we don't have a clear view of the Fremont bullpen, so we can't tell if anybody's warming up. Nelson's pitch count is high, but he's just 1 pitch away from getting out of this. 2-2 to Luke Causey. Got him swinging strike 3 on the breaking ball, and that is the ball game. The Fremont MOO will head back to the pasture with their first win over the Hastings Sodbusters this year. And the woes continue for Hastings, their 6th straight loss in a row. And they will drop their very first game of the second half of Independence League play. Gave them a fight at the end, but it wasn't enough. 6-3, your final score. Sodbusters are off tomorrow and back in action in Wednesday. Hastings will drop to a record of 16-13. Fremont will improve to 12-14. The visiting team gets the win tonight, and we've got plenty to talk about on our post-game show. We'll be back with more post-game coverage of the Hastings Sodbusters on the tail end of their loss to the Fremont MOO. Back in view from Duncan Field.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
At Hastings College, we celebrate all the ways you shine. From more than 20 athletic teams to band, choir, theater, and art, plus esports, creative writing, speech, and media. Join in to earn a scholarship and find your people, the friends you'll hang out and have fun with. It's what makes Hastings great. So check out Hastings College, where your experience matters, in the classroom and in the activities you love to do. Visit us at hastings.edu.
Fall to the Fremont MOO for the first time in 3 games this season to drop to 2-1 against their rivals from about 2.5 hours to the east. Final score 6-3 tonight at Duncan Field. And unfortunate for Hastings, 6 in a row now that they have lost. And a team that started 9-0, the magic has seemed to fizzle out for the moment. But there's still plenty of second half baseball left to be played. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein with our post-game show for Sodbuster Baseball. As Hastings only comes up with 6 hits, a couple of them in the 9th inning. Unfortunately, just too little too late. Don't think there's really much you can do besides tip your cap to the Fremont pitching staff. Their offense did enough. That 4-run 5th inning propelled them to the victory, even though they didn't get any insurance after that. Aiden McGrath, what a day he had in the bullpen to finish it off tonight, Steve.
Yep, Aiden McGrath, the story of this one, 7 innings pitched, and he may have had a chance to go the distance if he wouldn't have been pitch counted out as he hit his 100. And you can't start an inning after 100 unless you're throwing a no-hitter, but allowing only the 2 runs on 4 hits, striking out 9 and walking 3. 9 strikeouts to go along with Nelson's 4 Ks, and there's 13 strikeouts, and that's just way too many. You just got to put balls in play, and it's tough to mount any kind of rally when you're not putting balls in play.
Strikeouts have been the problem for the Sodbusters. We mentioned the now 5th out of their last 6 games where they've struck out at least 8 times, and now it's actually their 2nd game in that span where they've struck out at least a dozen times as well. Just getting away from the approach, not playing Sodbuster baseball, and a team we know they're tired. They had 3 days off, but can be tough getting back into the rhythm of things sometimes. You've used to playing go 3 games in a row, or not used to having 3 days off, or used to playing 10-plus games in a row like the Sodbusters did in the season. So maybe a chance to get them back on the horse here. They got their beating tonight, 6-3, and not really a beating, but they did get the loss handed to them tonight as Fremont gets their first win of the year. The top of the order, too, we're so used to seeing them do great things, but Aiden McGrath held them in check, too. 6 runs on 3 hits. That's now, besides the couple of Casper games, the 4th game now where the Sodbusters have been held to 3 runs or less in those contests. Offense just looks a little flat right now.
Well, you never take for granted when you're going things when it was like 9 in a row. You feel like nothing's. Never take for granted those kind of streaks, because sometimes you get in a game like this and a streak like this, and that's just where the Sodbusters are now. As we hear from Josh Brenner, let's get his perspective on this matchup with the MOO.
Just came out flat, weren't ready to go, started BP today. I mean, just trying to get them ready. We got to go take it for someone. Nothing's going to be handed over to us. And just don't play up and down in competition. You got to be even keel the whole way, and especially long games, long summers. Just treat every game. Just treat every game like just like something's on the line, because it is. And and just I feel like we came out flat today and just didn't really make an approach to the plate, and then just fell behind. Marcus was throwing good, pitching good for those 4, and then started getting behind in the 4th inning. Got out of it, but just started getting behind in counts. And second time, maybe even third time, them seeing him and just getting behind kind of hurt today.
Aiden McGrath, the Fremont pitcher, he seemed to have his way with the offense too. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings. Seemed a little bit uncomfortable at the plate. What was he doing so well that kept your hitters off timing today?
He set a slow curveball today that just talked to him in the 3rd inning that we gotta get it above our letters, and just it looks like coming in looking like a hanging curveball, but just because it's, no offense to him, but just slow breaker, it's gonna just fall off. It looks like it's gonna be me. It looks like it's gonna be over the plate, but it's just gonna fall off. So just didn't really make an adjustment there. I mean, just kept that they didn't change how they were pitching us. We just didn't really make an adjustment there.
And how much, I guess, scouting is done to the opposing pitcher? A lot of times you don't know till you get there. Do you kind of get an idea? I mean, you've seen some of these guys, at least on film. Is there kind of a scouting report as you go into a conference opponent?
I try to get on Synergy and try to find what I have on their arms based on. The only thing is when they're coming out of high school, but most of them are already had a freshman year somewhere, and try to find if they had any innings that'll be on Synergy, and we try to get a look at that. On me today, I did not get on Synergy today, and on me, we talked about trying to change our approach, won't tell you exactly what I told them, what we're looking for there, but try to talk to them, and we just had our number today, and just I feel like we just came out flat. Just feel like we're going to get it handed over to us, and just not going to be the way it is in baseball.
So you had the 3 days off, and I know you're used to playing just game every day, every night. So you have the 3 days off. Is there any time that maybe now that you have a game under your belts, you feel like the guys are back and energized, and maybe this loss is going to put a kind of a fire under their butts to get stuff going with some tough competitions this weekend?
I hope so. It's going to put a fire under my butt. So, I mean, I hope so. Hopefully it's a wake-up call. I mean, we just got to play. I mean, just keep it simple. We talked about all the time in the beginning of the year, but just keep it simple. I feel like, especially when we're down 4 runs and we're freaking trying to hit swing for the fences there in a couple swings, couple counts, when we just need to find a way on. Just stay to our approach, stay simple, and just find ways on. Especially at Duncan Field, just stay us.
All right, Josh. Well, you have tomorrow off, and then the exhibition game against the Cornhusker League All-Stars. If we can look ahead to that, I know you just finished up tonight's contest, but how serious is that game going to be, and what kind of a game can we kind of expect to see on Wednesday?
Well, they took it to us last year and ended up beating us, so definitely a revenge game, definitely coming out. And I mean, I don't know how many we've lost in a row, maybe 6. So definitely going to be the turning point. Just come out, like I said, just don't take anyone for granted. Ready to come out swinging, ready to throw strikes, getting ahead, working ahead, and just treat it like any other game, and just be ready. Just be ready to go take it for someone, anyone, pitch one. So.
All right, Coach Printer, thanks for your comments, and we'll look forward to seeing him on Wednesday nights. Josh Printer, the head coach of the Hastings Sodbusters, on the tail end of their 6-3 loss tonight. Before we send you on your way, we'll give you your final numbers here. Fremont with 6 runs on 9 hits. They made 1 error on defense. Sodbusters with 3 runs on 6 hits. Bright spot for them, no errors on defense. Sodbusters, a team that's known to make an error here and there, but error-free tonight. Hastings, their 6 hits, 2-hit game for Drew Vega with a pair of RBI singles. Christian Loera had a hit. Weston Johnston, Joey Hecker with his first hit as a Sodbuster, and Chase Miller also with a hit tonight. Marcus Miller takes the loss, 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Braden Cork and Brock Cross combined for 4 1/3 of scoreless relief, with 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. Fremont with 9 hits, multi-hit games for Caden Brzezinski and Grant Ryan. And then their middle part of the lineup got a hit. They only had 2 guys without a hit tonight. And tip of the hat to Aiden McGrath, 7 innings of 4 hits, 2-run baseball. Chase Nelson does give up a run, but holds to get the final 6 outs and the win for the Fremont MOO, who beat the Hastings Sodbusters for the first time tonight. Steve, I think the morale may be a little low on the team right now. It doesn't matter who you are, if you're the New York Yankees or if you're a Little League team or you're the Hastings Sodbusters. It's not fun to lose 6 straight games, but hopefully they're guys that's got some much-needed rest, and some more everyday guys will be healthier tomorrow. Not saying that they're not healthy today, but just the chemistry of the team. It's tough to keep going throughout the season, but I think that's the losses here now really got to motivate the guys to start playing good baseball again.
And if you try to gain something positive, that was the errorless defense. Chase Miller getting a rare start at the shortstop position. Really liked him at that spot. And, of course, Christian Loer is so elite defensively, and he played the shortstop position after Miller, after he started at second base. And it was a really good defensive lineup out there. Just have to figure out some things offensively. And I know it's a frustrated Josh Printer at this time. And try to go out, and I know it's just an exhibition game, but I think the Sodbusters are going to be a little motivated in a lot of different ways just to try to end this streak, and then you'll have another crack at Fremont on July 4th.
Well, that's going to be our next broadcast Wednesday night. It's an exhibition game, so it doesn't count in league standings. The Hastings Sodbusters versus the Cornhusker League Legion All-Stars. So that's teams comprised of Hastings, Grand Island, Kearney, Columbus, and North Platte. I believe that's all 5 teams in the league there. So they're all-stars, if you will, from their summer legions so far. They will get to play against some college-level teams, and they'll get to use wood bats too. High schoolers get to use the wood bats here, and we have to look forward to that. So like we mentioned, the league all-stars, they won the game. They had mounted a late comeback against the Hastings Sodbusters last year, so there is definitely some motivation to go out and win that game. 6:35 p.m. start time on Wednesday. We have tomorrow off. Also Thursday off, and then a 4-game home series over the weekend. 1 game against the Fremont MOO on July 4th, Independence Day, and then Saturday through Monday against the Plainsmen for the final 3 games against them this season. Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein saying so long tonight from Duncan Field. Hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We'll have our next one on Wednesday. Sodbusters fall in this one tonight, but we'll look to rebound on Wednesday. On behalf of everyone, our crew, Mason, Connor, and Noah running the show behind the scenes, good night from Duncan Field, and have a happy rest of your Monday evening.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer wood bat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.
Catch